to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for Wednesday Night War. That's what it is on a Wednesday. It's the Wednesday Night War. We've got NXT and AEW doing battle. I don't really like the whole battle thing. Not when there's bigger stories for us to be talking about. But I hope everyone is well. Of course, we've got a little bit of time until the shows actually begin. We've got how long? About just over an hour. We started a little bit earlier, just a few minutes earlier tonight. So give me one moment. Let me let the world know that we are live. I can tweet this out and then you can have my undivided attention. That is my gift to you on this Wednesday. Right, let me flip over. Jump into the chat. Pop out the chat. Give me a second. Boom. Hope everyone is well. There's a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things for us to go through. Obviously, the big talking point tonight is all about Drake Maverick. So we need to talk about Drake Maverick, and we need to talk about his appearance on The Bump. Let me just jump over to YouTube. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I've got quite a few notes. There's a lot of matches that have been announced for tonight. So there's a lot of stuff for us to talk about. We're going to be seeing the likes of Balor, Velveteen Dream. We're going to be seeing potentially Dustin Rhodes' final match. If he loses tonight, he's going to walk away. He's going to retire. So we've got all of that coming up as well. Obviously, I've got to shout out Abby's window that we just had on the Insiders, which was brilliant. I was listening to that in the background. So, yeah, we had Abby's window, and I think they're doing some after as well. I think there might be an interview after we're finished here tonight. So, again, the Insiders just pumping out so much stuff at the moment. So, yes, as I said, give me a moment to get these things set up. We have started a couple of minutes early, but I like to spend this time with you guys. You know I like to spend this time with you guys. Right, Drake Maverick was on The Bump. He was on The Bump. People saying that they like the background. Yeah, there he is, look. There he is, Drake Maverick. And also, I made my shirt. Here we go. Look at this. This feels designer. Does anyone else think this looks designer? This feels like I went down to like one of those high-end fashion shops and actually bought this. But look at that Drake Maverick shirt. Look at this. It's pretty good, isn't it? Like, if someone said to you, oh, Dave spent £50 on that, you'd be like, yeah, I totally believe that. Because it looks legit. Look at that. I even added at the bottom, I know you can't see it, but I did write, Drake, brackets, not the hip-hopper. I don't want you to think of the hip-hop, you know, the God's Plan Man, yeah? Not God's Plan Man. We're not talking about him. We're talking about Drake Maverick. So there we go. Made that. So it's been great seeing some of your pictures as well of things that have been sent through because, of course, as we said, designer days. I know, look. There we go. God's Plan. Yeah. I need a one dance. And I need in my hands. I don't know the words to One Dance, but it's a good song. I was actually listening to it the other day. I said, I need a one dance. There we go. Pure class, that shirt. I thought that as well. Look at Daisy's abs. Wrestle Factor, I drew them in. I drew them in at the bottom, just down here. Yeah. It does look class, doesn't it? Like black on grey. Who knew? But yeah, it's proper. I feel like you can't see the D. Like, if I close my arm like that, it looks like I'm supporting rakes. All the rakes around the world, everyone that's doing gardening with their rakes. It's as if I'm, like, supporting Who the hell's Rake? Who's Rake? Drake. There we go. See, I've got to kind of do this, haven't I? And also, a couple of exclamation points there. I didn't need the Really, what I should have done is I should have got rid of the exclamation points and maybe moved it around. It doesn't matter. It looks great. I'm going to be selling these very soon. I'm going to be selling these for £100 each. £100 for these absolute designer t-shirts. Look at this. Look at that. Someone said that's horrible. Sasuke 100k. Have a word. Have a word with yourself. This is top high-end fashion. You wouldn't know about high-end fashion. Yeah? You're still walking around wearing bin bags, right? This is fire. That's what I'm wearing. Straight fire. Boom. Days, are you feeling grey today? I'm very grey today, actually. Yes, I am feeling very grey. Yeah, it's a grey day. It's a grey day. Rake. Yes, who's Rake? That's who I'm about. Come on, Rake. Come on, Rake. But no, joking aside, it's been brilliant seeing so many people sending me their shirt designs and things that they're wearing for Drake Maverick tonight. Because as we said, you know, he's been announced as leaving. And he said on the bump earlier, they had him on the bump, that he's really hoping that he can change WWE's mind with his performances tonight. So obviously he's around for 3 weeks. So yeah, we're going to see, you know, can he change WWE's mind? I hope so. I think that there's a lot of support for him. I think that he doesn't have to win the tournament. I just think he's got to dig deep, just create that buzz online. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing if he can do that tonight. The worst thing would be if he just gets squashed. I can't see it happening, but, like, if it's a match tonight and it's a squash and he doesn't look that great and there's, I don't know. I just hope that he can put in a good performance, you know? Drake Maverick 24/7 says Butterspark. Days, imagine if Woods is the hacker and Big E joins him, or Big E is the hacker. Yeah, it looks like Woods was the third voice. Google Rake, it means Hellraiser. Does it? Okay, hang on, we can do this. I don't even need to... let's jump straight in, shall we? Let me have a chat with my old friend. Hey, Google. Translate Rake. Here we go. Oh, you've not done it. Translate. Rake. Oh, you stupid thing! Honestly, I just cannot work it. Here we go. Translate Rake.
Here is your translation.
It's a gardening tool. It just says it's a gardening tool. Something to do with machine guns. Something to do with fire. Something to do with gardens. I don't know what it is. And I didn't even know. I don't know. I could move the sofa down if we wanted to have a look, but I don't know what it's. I don't know. Oh, it's horrific. Like, let's not even. Oh my god, this has really gone wrong. Never mind. No, never mind. Nia Jax needs to go. What about Nia Jax? She needs to go back to developmental. Okay. Roman is the hack. He's certainly grabbing. He's grabbed some. He has grabbed some. Chris says Google 380 days. I know that didn't go well. Ignore that. Google, what does it mean to be called a rake? Days has got some R-rated behind him. Yes, I've got a rake. That's what I've got behind me. I've got rake behind me. Ignore that, right? That's gone wrong. I didn't mean for that. Oh my god. They shout out to LSW. I can't wait for Drake tonight. I can't wait as well. Train Dude 5. Can you please say hello to Train Dudes 1 to 4 from me? I hope they're safe. Their loved ones are worried about them. If you can find it in your heart, Train Dude 5, let them go. Let them go. They've got families. Train Dude 5. Days, can you say hello to my good friend Ryan? Shout out to Ryan. Days, do you think Scarlett and Killer Cross will officially debut? No. Well, what do you mean officially debut? We've seen them. Killer Cross has kind of already introduced himself. He goes by the name of Karrion Kross now, which is awful. But no, I think the show's pretty stacked. Here we go. We got Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas. We've got Kushida versus Tony Nese. We've got El Hijo del Fantasma making his debut against Jack Gallagher. You know, the pirate ship, man. He's got that big tattoo now. Looks like Conor McGregor. Yeah, they're facing each other. We got Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. We got, it says Balor and Velveteen Dream, like, face off or something like this. So I don't know if it's a match or what it is, but we got Balor and Velveteen Dream doing something. Maybe it's a dance number. Maybe they're singing a duet. I don't know. Over on AEW, we got Dustin Rhodes taking on Kip Sabian. We've got Sammy Guevara taking on Darby Allin. We've got Jimmy Havoc versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy in action tonight. We got Kenny Omega, Brody Lee, Wardlow, and we've got Matthew Hardy from the Matthew Hardy compound. So we've got all of those things happening. Nails and NY says, I can't stop looking at X-rated Drake. Don't. Look, this is, oh my God, I can't either, actually. I don't see the same image that you guys see. So, right, hang on, there's got to be a way that I can fix this. Can I somehow take it down a little lower, or... No, I can't take it down. What about if I raise? Oh my God. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. No, look, if I take it up... There it is. It's actually the 24 set. That's better, innit? That's a bit better. 24/7 championship. That's what he's sporting. So, there we go. Hopefully that won't distract you as much. Guys, how do you prepare for a space party, you planet? Nice one, John Elite. Shout out to Blessed Radio. Shout out to William Hensey. Shout out to Nails and NY Brickhouse. LSW. Days, you messed up putting Drake behind you. I think I fixed it. Chalmers says, a random question. Chalmers desperately tried to get this question in whilst we were watching Kamille. Yes, what a stream that was. It was so good it got taken down. It was that good. It was, you thought this was debauched with Drake doing that behind us. That stream yesterday, it was off the chain. It was so good. Yeah, they actually took it down. So as a result, we're going to have to tone things down a little bit tonight. Just tone them down a little bit. We can't be as debauched as what we was last night. So, but yeah, Chalmers did ask this. Pick one superstar from NWA, New Japan, WWE, and AEW to make into a faction. Well, let's do it. So, NWA, I'm taking ... From New Japan, I'm taking... who am I taking? Daryl, the little bear that gets carried around. From WWE, I'm taking R-Truth. And from AEW, I'm taking Orange Cassidy. And that is... What a faction. ? R-Truth, Orange Cassidy, and Daryl, the little bear. What a faction. You'll never beat that. Height Nails Brickhouse, you're still got that name. She's still sporting that name. Daisy's streams are too big for YouTube. It's true. We should probably just quickly talk about that. Nothing was done wrong. Nothing was done wrong. I watched the video back because I can still see it behind the scenes. You can't hear... Obviously, we never show any footage. We never do that. And you can't hear anything either. Actually, at the time that it's taken down, you might remember the show had finished. Like, the show had already finished and we'd moved on to watching Camille's video, but we hadn't pressed play. So we'd finished with that. We were moving on to that. And that's when it got taken down. And we weren't doing anything wrong. There was nothing playing at the time. That was I can't explain it. I have no answer for it. So the only thing I can say is it actually says if you think it was taken down in error, then you can appeal But to be all honest, once it was taken down, like, it was pretty much done, wasn't it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I know there would have been people that would have enjoyed watching it today, but it was pretty much the majority of people watched them live. So I was like, I'll let that go. But yeah, I was really tempted to appeal it. Liam Costa says, "What's up, Days, my friend? How are you? My fridge is full of beer, and they run out in a month, so I've got to get through them." Wow. First world problems. There we go. I wish you all the best. I'm representing the cult of Kamille, says Nails and NY Brickhouse. Chalmers says, Kamille probably forced them to take it down so that we could watch her video early. Dexter Lumis, I'm a big fan of Dexter Lumis, yes. I don't think we're going to see him tonight. There might be a little video package on him, and I'm sure there'll be a little video package on what Killer Cross has been doing in recent weeks, but I'm not expecting anything major. I think the show is rammed, really is rammed. I mean, already we know of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches already. So, yeah, lots going on tonight. Shout out to Bob K. The Pickle One says, if Dustin loses, he retires. I know, big news. He said that he absolutely hates Kip Sabian. And, yeah, if he loses, he is going to step away. So, fingers crossed he doesn't. I think this would be an awful time for him to walk away. If he's going to go, he's got to go in front of fans. He can't go, like, in an empty arena and just wave and wander off. So this would be a horrible time for him to go. Coaster Maniacs! What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Let's start off with a bang. Days, who would you have face one-on-one AEW versus NXT? Coaster Maniacs, thank you so much for the support. I've been very fortunate enough to speak to Coaster Maniacs quite a bit recently. We did 2 videos. We even had like a chat over on Skype as well. So learnt loads about Coaster Maniacs and about what he's trying to achieve. And a big congratulations to Coaster Maniacs, who hit 600 followers on Twitter. The YouTube channel's growing. The Twitter account is growing. Coaster Maniacs, definitely someone to keep an eye out for. So, as I said, if you go over to Coaster Maniacs' YouTube channel, you'll see those 2 videos that we did together where we sat down. One's on wrestling, the other is on roller coasters. And Coaster Maniacs is bringing more roller coaster and wrestling content onto the channel. So, dude, you know you don't have to do that. There's no way of me thanking you. Like, it's incredible. Well, I can thank you. I can put a thank you at the bottom, which of course I will do. But, yeah, incredible, buddy. Absolutely incredible. Let me put that thank you at the bottom, and then I will answer your question. So, thank you. Oh, hang on. Thank you, Coaster Main. He's a maniac on the floor. I don't know who sings that. I feel like it's a big 80s song. So, Coaster Maniacs, thank you so much for the support. There we go. Like, that's pretty much in words how I can express the impact that has. In regards to your question, NXT versus AEW, I would be really tempted to just go big and just go Triple H versus Cody. I think that would be incredible. I think that's probably the biggest match you could do because obviously you've got the whole power structure involved as well. Triple H, still competes from time to time. Cody, of course, does. And then, of course, you've got the whole power structure. Debatable as to whether Triple H is an NXT superstar, though. So if I have to dial it down, then I would probably go Johnny Gargano against Kenny Omega because I just think that would be the match that would give us the best outcome. I think you could go Young Bucks against Undisputed Era also. I think that would give you an incredible match. Incredible match. In fact, those would be my top 3. I do think the women's division over on AEW is lacking. I'm not sure there's really anyone over there that's going to steal the show in their women's division. So it's difficult to say, oh, I would do Rhea Ripley versus, or I would do Charlotte versus, or do you know what I mean? I don't know that their women's division is quite there yet. So I'm going to stick with those three. I'm going to stick with those three that I said. But yeah, feel free to let us know your thoughts. Did you see Triple H's new hair? I did not see Triple H's new hair. I saw that he was on... Oh, what was he on? He was on The Bump, wasn't he? I saw a clip of him on The Bump, and The Rock had sent a message over saying some kind things, but I can't say that I necessarily noticed Triple H had different hair. One of the things that was quite interesting about what Triple H said was that he said if Vince McMahon steps aside, the replacement would be Stephanie, which I thought was very, very interesting, because a lot of people are under the assumption that if Vince steps aside, the replacement would be Triple H. But I think Triple H very much is focused on developmental. You've got Shane McMahon that still works behind the scenes as well. I can't imagine Shane's just going to allow Triple H to run the show. So it could be that Stephanie is the replacement when Vince does step aside. So yeah, just kind of a very interesting thought, I thought. Can I get a YouTube shout out? Shout out to you, Mr. Wrestling Game. Hope you are well. Hope you got some questions the other day. Drake Maverick versus The Fiend. Can I just say something? Sasuke 100K sent me an article by Sportster. Now, I'm only going to mention this because I thought it was something worth mentioning. Sportster have theorized, okay, and I can't even tell you how much I hope this isn't true. They've theorized, what if the Drake Maverick thing is a storyline? What if, you know, this is all to build him up and he is going to get rehired, but the plan was always for him to be rehired. Now, I don't like that theory. I don't even want to think about that. I think with people losing their jobs in the real world, and with people really having lost their jobs in WWE, if it turns out that this Drake Maverick thing was a storyline, that would be one of the biggest PR disasters. I can't even begin to fathom it. Yeah, but I'm only saying it because there are rumblings out there. There's, you know, Sportster. They've got no proof. The only thing they said was apparently Drake Maverick has been followed around by a camera crew for 2 weeks. And apparently it's because he was going to be making his in-ring return. And it's all to do with that. It's all to do with him getting ready to compete in the tournament. But of course now they've captured all the fallout to him being let go. And you kind of go, well, if they keep him now, then that's going to make for a very interesting documentary. It's going to make for a very interesting story. And I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I'm still sat here in my Drake Maverick designer Drake Maverick shirt. So I'm still sitting here and supporting him. But I definitely don't want to think about that being a work. Yeah, horrible. So parking that. I think that would cheapen all the other wrestlers and staff losing their jobs. It would be awful. Anna, I completely agree. Completely agree. Which is why I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how. The most important thing is that this is absolutely not that. Like, I just, it can't be. It can't be. It would make me feel ill if this is all a storyline. Yeah, let's see how it plays out. Let's see what happens tonight. Let's see what communications are like. But I do think that you're going to start hearing more rumblings of that as this goes on. Because, of course, he's around for 3 weeks. You got to admit, it is very, very weird. It is very weird that you fire someone, but you still allow them to wrestle on the show. And then you also invite them onto the bump. and they're allowed to talk about how they want to change WWE's. This is someone that's been fired on the show saying they want to change WWE's mind, and they're saying it on WWE programming, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still supporting. Days, did you know that Jinder Mahal is cleared? Okay, cool. That's good. Loomis versus Jericho. Balor versus Omega, says Bob K. Nia Jax is the Bret Hart of this generation. Okay. Maverick for the win tonight, says John. Yeah, I would like for him to win tonight, but as I said, it's a situation I'm keeping a very, very close eye on, because I want this to be a real honest story, you know. I want it to be a case that hopefully he does get re-signed. I would love that. I've always been a Drake Maverick fan. I thought what he was doing with the 24/7 title was good. I thought when he was GM of 205, he was good. Anything I didn't like was when he was the manager of AOP. Kind of felt like he just didn't fit. It just didn't work. It didn't look right. So, yeah, I wasn't sure about that. But I don't want to see him go. I've seen him talking on quite a few occasions on different shows about how much this means to him. So, I hope he stays. But I hope this is all done the right way, as I said. So, that'll do. I don't think there's any more reason to kind of dwell on that. Days, did you ever find out what was in Kamille's purse? Oh, do you know what, right? When that stream went down last night, no word of a lie, there's nothing that necessarily tells me the stream has gone down. The only way I would know would be by looking at your comments. If your comments just completely stopped, well, that would be unusual, wouldn't it? You know, the comments are always rolling. But the problem was that when it went down, I think I was actually saying, right, let's start the video, 3, 2, 1, and then I press play. And I started watching the video, but it just turned out that the stream went down, as I said, 1, apparently. People are saying it's really weird. If you watch the stream, which obviously you can't, but if you do see the stream, I say, right, are you ready? 3, 2, and then I press play. Well, the thing was, I was watching this, wasn't I? So I'm watching Kamille's video, and I'm chatting along going, oh, I knew she didn't like umbrellas. And, oh, no, how she got that in her bag? And all this kind of stuff. No one's watching. Literally no one's. I'm sitting here talking to myself for like 4 minutes. No word of a lie. I got to the 4-minute mark, so I do know what's in Kamille's bag. She's got an umbrella, right, that's still got the ticket on it. She has got a plastic bag that's got 2, like, makeup-y things in there. Things like foundation and things like this, right? Which she didn't know about. Like, she's got all these, like, bits. She was pulling out loads of stuff. So she had all this stuff, and I'm just chatting away on my own for, like, 4 minutes. It's only when I looked down and I noticed that the bottom comment was the same bottom comment as when we had started the video. I was like, well, that's not right. I thought there, I still kept talking. I thought the chat had frozen. So I come off the chat, go back in, and that's when I went into YouTube and I saw the message saying that due to a breach of YouTube guidelines or something along these lines, I was like, what? So then, obviously, so I think people were worried about me. People were saying, are you all right? Is everything okay? But they didn't realise I was still watching Kamille's video. I'm still sat here just jibber-jabbering along to myself. I literally did a one-man watch-along. The only person that knew I was doing it was me. Mr. Thomas, shout out to you. Rake. 1 year today. First episode of the Firefly Funhouse. Dave's had a trip down memory lane where he used to chat to himself. Yes, very true. Days, have you seen the leaked stage of Money in the Bank? I don't know. I saw with the trees and everything, so I've seen all of that. Drake hasn't been given long enough to show what he can do in WWE. LSW says the lost reaction. Well, do you know what? It really is the lost reaction because the stream had stopped, so nothing was recording that. So my reaction to that 4 minutes is, there's no evidence of it because the stream had stopped, so nothing was recording. So I'm just sitting there chatting away, do you know what I mean? And, it was only when I looked down and noticed the chat hadn't moved. I was like, well, that's not right. It's the chat froze. And then bad day. Bad day. Days, what event was it when Moxley almost forgot to sell the eye? New Japan. When it was in New Japan, he was taking on Suzuki. What was that? I can't remember what that was. Was that Wrestle Kingdom? Was it Wrestle Kingdom? I don't think it was it? Was it? I can't remember. Wrestle Kingdom was 2 nights, and he took on Lance Storm and then Juice Robinson, so it wasn't. I can't remember what the event was, but it might have been somewhere at the end of last year, but he faces Suzuki. He's got the eye patch on, and as they're walloping each other, the eye patch comes off, and clearly you can see, for a moment, he's sitting on the ring, right? And he's got both his eyes and everything, and then all of a sudden, you can see the moment a voice in his head goes, "You're meant to have an eye injury." And he goes, "Oh!" So everything was fine, and then all of a sudden he starts going, "Oh, no, oh, wow, yeah, I forgot, oh, that hurts." So, I can't remember what the show was called. But, New Japan from end of 2019, one of their big shows. New Beginnings. It might have been New Beginnings. Chalmers. It's a shame that 4 minutes, those 4 minutes were some of Daze's best work. Very true. Very true. Do you think Dustin will retire tonight? No. No, I think it's designed to get people to tune into AEW, which is fine. I think that's what they should be doing. But I think they're teasing that the end is coming. So I don't know when the final of the TNT tournament is, but if the final of the TNT tournament was Double or Nothing, but you're still not going to have a crowd, are you? That's the only problem. You're still not going to have a crowd. He has got to retire in front of a crowd. He's got to retire in front of a crowd. There's no benefit to him retiring now. He's got to retire. So tease it tonight. Have him victorious. But he's got to retire in front of a crowd. And I think that is coming very, very close. 2 more subs from 200. When we hit 200, I'm going to make a video dumping 200 ice cubes onto my head. Coastamaniacs, you might regret saying that. You can get those 2 subs very, very easily. I am a fan. Even mad. I live in Reading. If you have any more wrestling toys extra, give it to me. You live in Reading Terrace. Shout out to you. I've been to Reading. I like Reading. No one confused Days. Yes, that's rule number 1 of Days Club. No one confused Days. Days, do you remember my vid about you from earlier? Yes, it was very good. Very, very good. It's over on Twitter. Days, if Shane O'Mac returns, who would he feud with? I honestly don't know, because I don't know if he'd be returning as a heel or if he'd be returning as a face. I mean, if he was to come back now, obviously, logically, you would think Miz or Kevin Owens. But I don't know. I don't know what story they would want to tell or when he would come back, so hard to say. Drake should go back to being Rockstar Spud. Was that? I don't think WWE are going to allow that, because that's a name that belongs to him. So they like to control the names. Because the thing is, if they build someone up and then they leave, at least then they're not leaving with that name. Look at Jon Moxley. You know, I mean, everyone knows Dean Ambrose, but not that many people know Jon They know of Dean Ambrose. People know Ambrose, and Ambrose was in the Shield. But Jon Moxley, who's Jon Moxley? To casual, of course, to wrestling fans we know, but to casual fans, the kind of people that will just tune in once in a while, they won't know who Moxley is. So that's the benefit for WWE doing that. They can own those names. They can make all the money from the merch from those names. And then if the person leaves, they have to completely change their identity. They have to completely change their name. Trini, shout out to you. Drew McIntyre versus John Cena would be a good match. Varian says, ahead of tonight's episode, NXT officials have learned of a possible incident involving Finn Balor inside the NXT locker room. This is a developing story. Ooh, okay. It's interesting. So, apparently Finn Balor might have been up to something in the NXT locker room. Might be worth, what you say? That's on the NXT account. Let's have a look. NXT. Days, yes, you're absolutely right. 11 minutes ago, NXT tweeting out that an incident involving Finn Balor inside the NXT locker room. Interesting. Coaster Maniacs says, thanks to all, we've now hit 200. I told you it wouldn't take long to get to 200. Now you've got to dump 200 ice cubes on your head, mate. Karen Cross. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Karen Cross. I don't think that's a very good name at all. Days, who's better at promos, MJF or Velveteen Dream? I would say MJF. Days, what if Stone Cold didn't have the neck injury and still wrestled now and he faced Roman? Do you think Vince would book it? Yeah. I think Vince would book it, yes. I mean, like, there's a lot of talk about Rock versus Roman. So if Stone Cold was healthy, cleared, able to compete, of course Vince would be looking to use him. So, yes, absolutely. Malik says, Days, same to Scott and Wilder. They're trying to find a new tag team name. Yep. It's what WWE do. And, you know, from a business sense, it makes a lot of sense. Because the thing is, as well, there's another reason. And that is, what if, like, they use that name and something bad happens, you know? I don't want to, wow, this is maybe a bad example, but I'm going to use it anyway. Chris Benoit, right? So, everyone knows about what happened with Chris Benoit. Now, when Chris Benoit joined, they didn't change his name. So, all over WWE programming, you've got Chris Benoit. And everyone knows, you know, what Chris Benoit did and the incident and all that kind of stuff. And it's you know, it's heavy stuff. Whereas, if when he was in WWE, he'd changed his name to John Lightning or something, you know, then you're not going to have the Chris Benoit all over DVDs and all over the network and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still couldn't watch his matches. I don't care what he's called. I would still struggle to watch his matches regardless of his name. But changing the name means that they've got total control over it, if you know what I mean. Like, Dean Ambrose is not going to now go off and do anything heinous. Jon Moxley will, if he does go off and do something heinous. So, just another reason why, you know, they do, like, name changes and things like that, so that they can have total control over that name, over that character when they're with them. Swamp Mana says, Days, I think Dexter Lumis versus Lance Archer would be good. Yeah, that'd be good. I've not seen enough of Dexter Lumis, but from what I've seen so far, I love his entrance music. I love his look. I think that he's going to be a real big prospect in the future. Days, what do you think the incident with Balor is going to be? Well, either he has been attacked or he has attacked someone. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Either he's attacked Velveteen or Velveteen has got to him first. I hope Velveteen has got to him first. Or, what might be extra interesting, is if it's not Velveteen. What if Velveteen's like, it was nothing to do with me? And then it turns out, actually, it was Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross is just going around taking out all the top challengers. So, but obviously the finger of blame would be pointing at Velveteen, but it turns out it's not. Loomis needs to be built up more. He does. Tyler, shout out to you. Days, when I am subscribed 2 years, shall I donate? That's up to you, Mr. Thomas. That's up to you. Days, what if Stone Cold didn't have the neck injury and still wrestled now? And if he faced Roman today, how do you think Vince would book it? I don't understand what you mean. I mean, he clearly wouldn't be competing on a regular basis now, because Triple H doesn't, Shawn Michaels doesn't, The Rock doesn't. Like, that was a different generation. You're talking 20 years after, like, their prime. So, he wouldn't be competing on a regular basis. He'd just be brought in for, like, the occasional big match. And he would put Roman over. I'm pretty sure of that. Either that or they'd do, like, The Rock and John Cena, where first year Stone Cold wins, but then the second year Roman Reigns would win. So, yeah, they'd just book it one of those ways. But there's no way Stone Cold would bury Roman. Swamp Manor says, Days, Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy, Cody Rhodes never changed their names. No, they didn't. They, well, Cody changed his name to Stardust, of course. But, yeah, the Hardy Boys went by the Hardy Boys name, didn't they? So, they just used that. I actually don't know how they decide on names. Some people come in, like, look at Kushida. Kushida has come in from New Japan, and they haven't changed his name, but they did with Asuka. Asuka was better known as Kana over in Japan, and then when she came over, in fact, the very first time that we see Asuka, if you go back and watch the footage, when she walks out, it says Kana on the big screen. So it says Kana, and I think she looks at it, and it fades away, and then the Asuka name appears. And of course, we'd never seen that before. So I think you can hear people in the crowd going, Ayuska? Ayuska? And it's actually William Regal that first goes by the name now of Asuka. So, yeah, they changed Asuka's, but they didn't change Kushida's. I don't know the reason why. I don't know. A lot of people that come in get new names. Majority of people get new names. But, yeah, amazingly, not everyone. Days, I want John Cena versus Seth Rollins. Yes, Killer Cross, now Karrion Kross. Awful. How long we got? Oh, man, we've only got 19 minutes. 19. How did that go so fast? How have we only got 19 minutes? Well, we have. Dexter Loomis theme sounds like Stranger Things, it does. Days, I heard that Chris Benoit's son is trying to join WWE as Chris Benoit Jr. Yes, he is. Days, sometimes it's under contract if you have a name or not. Like Matt Hardy had rights to his name, but TNA have rights to Broken, but WWE have the rights to Woken. It's all down to the contracts. Yeah, good shout. I suppose what I don't understand, though, is when they first started, why didn't WWE give Matt Hardy a different name from his real name? Like, why wasn't he called Jack Jones or so much? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't they just change his name? Because then when he left, he would have had to have used the name Matt Hardy. But then when he comes back, he would have been back as Jack Jones. So I suppose the question is, why didn't they give Matt Hardy a new name back in the day? Perhaps they weren't doing that back in the day. I mean, obviously, when Ric Flair came in, he was still called Ric Flair because everyone knew him as Ric Flair. Although, right, this is where things get, this is where we get deep down into some good old wrestling talk. When Kerry Von Erich joined, the Von Erichs were huge. The Von Erichs were one of the biggest groups in Texas. But when he joined, they called him the Texas Tornado. And in fact, they did refer to him as Kerry Von Erich from time to time, but they started to actually drop the Kerry Von Erich name. Von Erich, everyone knows the Von Erichs. Von Erichs, they still wrestle now. The kids of Kevin Von Erich still wrestle. I'd love to see him. They're a great tag team. I'd love to see him in NWA, the Von Erichs. I know that's something that £10 a podcast was saying. I didn't even realise that there were Von Erichs that were still wrestling, but apparently there are. So the whole conversation around why did they change people's names, or when they changed their names, or who's had their names changed, all this kind of stuff. It's very, very interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation, because it's a real mixed bag all throughout the history of wrestling. It's a very mixed bag. Ric Flair comes in with his own name, but Texas Tornado didn't. Obviously, you got people like Kurt Hennig who came in, but they gave him Mr. Perfect. Mean Mark Callis came in, but they gave him Undertaker. So there's a history of people having their names changed. Although I would say Chad Gable being changed to Shorty G is probably the worst out of all of them. So the whole Von Erich family is full of wrestlers. Days, I can't wait for the AEW figures. I'm gonna buy them all. Yep. I'm really interested in them. I think they look great. I genuinely think they look great. I think they've done a really, really good job with them. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to them. I'm really looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to some that haven't been shown yet. I'm really looking forward to Orange Cassidy. I feel like the Orange Cassidy figure is going to absolutely fly. I know, people are going to want Jericho and Cody and people like that. Jon Moxley. But for me, I'm probably most excited about Orange Cassidy. So, yeah, can't wait. I think Tyler Breeze should win the North American Championship. I agree. That would be very, very cool. What does NWA stand for? It's a good question, Tyler. It stands for the National Wrestling Alliance. And the reason is because back in the day, you used to have a wrestling company in Texas. You had a wrestling company in Florida. You had a wrestling company in New York. You had a wrestling company in California. You had a wrestling company in Ohio, right? You had all these different wrestling companies all over the United States. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. And what the NWA did was they kind of brought them all together. So what the NWA was it was basically an agreement between all of these different wrestling companies that they were going to work together. There would be one world champion. And that world champion would just go from different promotion to different promotion. Could you imagine that these days? Could you imagine if there was one world champion and they went to WWE 1 week, but then next week they might be on AEW, and then the week after they might be in New Japan, and then the week after they might be in NWA, and then the week after they might be in Ring of Honor, and then the week after they might be in CMLL, and then the week after they might pop to Impact. One champion going to all these different promotions, and that is the champion. That's what it was like back in the day. That's what it was like in the 50s. When you had this one champion going around. But then WWE pulled away and they decided to do things on their own. They did used to be a part of the NWA. They were one of the promotions that was a part of it. But then they pulled away in the early 1960s and then started doing their own thing. And then, of course, over time, promotions would start closing down. And by the time you get into the 90s, there's pretty much no one left. You had WCW and obviously WWE, who had gone off and done their own thing. And there was maybe small little things, but it was nothing like it was in the 50s and whatever. But the NWA name kept going. The NWA was still a promotion that kept running. It still had little territories. It still had little shows. And now it's got to the point where it makes its own show. That's what Power is. Power is the NWA making its own show. So that's why the NWA is so important, because it's been around since like the 1940s. And the people that have held that title used to be the wrestling champion. So that's why that belt is so important. You can see Ric Flair holding that 10 pounds of gold belt. You can see Dusty Rhodes, and you can see, I think AJ Styles held it in TNA as well. So, so many people have been NWA champion. The history of it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's older. NWA is older than WWE. Days, what is wrestling title belts Mount Rushmore? That's a great question, Chalmers. That's a really great question. I would say Winged Eagle would be the first belt I would be putting onto a wrestling belt Mount Rushmore. I think the NWA 10 pounds of gold has got to go on there as well because of its history. I think the IWGP New Japan title has got to go on there for the importance that has. And then I suppose it's down to whatever you decide. Whatever you think should go into that fourth spot. But I would pretty much say there's little to no argument that the Winged Eagle, the 10 pounds of gold, and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship from New Japan, those three have to be 3 of the 4. And then it's down to whatever you put on the 4th. Feel free. What would you put on the 4th? Maybe, yeah, I can see people, Coaster Maniac, saying Goldie. Do you mean Goldie as in the NXT title? Do you mean that as in Ciampa's Goldie? Or do you mean it as in the big gold belt? Because there's a lot of love for the big gold belt from WCW. Which I could understand. Days, the Pentagón figure is amazing. Jim says WWE used to be part of the NWA. They did. Why not the spinner belt? That has to be top 4. Big gold, big gold. Big gold is a beautiful, beautiful belt. Can I just say, though, nothing but love and respect for the AEW title. It's got no lineage, right? Which means that literally it's the same as me just making a belt, right? I could just go to Belts by Dan and go, can you make me a belt, please? And then here we go, brand new world title. It's not connected to anything, but here it is, yeah? So there's a slight problem with the AEW belt having no lineage. I feel like they could have done something. I don't know what. But I feel like they could have done something whereby it would have had a connection to the past. Would have been really cool. Would have been really cool if when Cody had fought for the 10 pounds of gold, if there'd been some kind of controversial decision and, maybe Nick Aldis got the belt back, but Cody never felt that he was beaten. And so as a result, he goes and has his own belt made and he claims that he is still the real world's champion, but they call it the AEW title or something along those lines. And then at least it's got some kind of connection to the past. Whereas this is just a brand new belt out on its own. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just talking out loud. But, I kind of feel like, this doesn't have any connection to the past. But the belt itself is stunning. Stunning. That AEW championship is one of the best looking belts I've seen. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's so detailed. It feels so prestigious. They've done a great job with it. I think it absolutely batters anything in WWE. Apart from maybe the UK belt, which I really love. And I really like the North American Championship as well. Outside of those, I think the AEW belt batters everything. Hayden Garrett says, hey Days, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Hope you are well. Shout out to you, Robin813. Wrestle Factor says, the AEW looks good. Nothing to the WWF title, Big Gold or Winged Eagle. The older IC title was awesome. The limited Undertaker belt. Ooh. The 24/7 belt is the best. Jokes. Ryan says, I like the £10 gold. Yeah, £10 gold is amazing. Days, if what Cody hints at is true, how do you think Zack Ryder will do in AEW? I think he'd be booked very strongly. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how great he is in the ring and how much he's been holding back. The thing about Zack Ryder is that he could actually be a really good wrestler. He could be someone that could tell some great stories and we just have never seen it. Because what's he been involved in, you know? I mean, every match he's been in has been pretty much a squash. I know he had a few matches back in the day, but you're going back a long, long way. I mean, even when he won the IC title at WrestleMania 31, he lost it the next night in a... You know, it wasn't a squash match. There was a bit of drama to it because, of course, you had Maurice returning and you had his dad at ringside and stuff like that. So, I don't know. If he is going to join, I'd give him the chance. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's you know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what he can do. It's hard to know how great of a wrestler he is because he wasn't really allowed to show how great of a wrestler he was in WWE. Hardcore title could be the fourth one, says Bama Captain. The WWE Divas Championship, says Jim Gore. Nails and NY says, I'm not fussed about the NXT titles. Maybe it's just because Charlotte holding it makes it look a little bit plain and dull. I'm used to seeing her with blingy belts. Liam says, Days, I'm here to end all of you. I got to tell you. I have got to tell you that if you're not watching NWA, I know I talk about it a lot, and I know there's going to be people that haven't watched it that are like, oh, can you just shut up about this? Because I don't watch it. Watch yesterday's episode. Even if it's only 20 minutes long, 23 minutes long. You get the backstory of Kamille, right? That's at the start. That's the first 10 minutes. Then you get a match, Camille's first match, okay? And then you get a promo. This is the first time we've heard her speak. So you're getting a lot in that 20-odd minutes. And the promo is one of the best promos I've ever seen. Legit, straight up, one of the best promos I've ever seen. One of the best, 10 minutes of footage that I've ever seen in wrestling. Because what that did was more than 5, 6, 7, 8 squash matches ever could. Because what it did was it told you all about her past. It told you how dominant she was as a kid. About the fact that other parents were checking their own stats to make sure that hers weren't being made up. Because she was that good. And the fact that she dominated at baseball. She dominated at football. And you've got all of the footage there to show and back it all up. It's not just words. Here's a picture of me playing baseball. They're showing you her knocking balls out of the park as a kid. You're seeing all of this footage and it makes it believable because they're showing it to you. It was absolutely incredible. And then for her to say, and now I'm here to dominate in professional wrestling. You know, she says that, you understand now why she's got no respect for authority because the parents used to do that to her. They used to, double check on her because she was too good. She was embarrassing their daughters. The storytelling is this is just incredible. It was incredible. So I thought it felt to me like the real arrival of a massive, massive, massive star. Because you just can't get that kind of character insight, that kind of character development from just doing squash matches. I know more about Kamille now than I know about 99.9% of the WWE roster. I can only think of The Fiend as someone that I maybe know about as much about. It was incredible. They achieved so much on that. So I really do urge that you check it out. Days, NWA is also a rap group. Yes. Bama says AWA had a nice world title. Was that silver with red on the background? Silver and red? Silver facepaint with red. I'm going to have a look at that. In my mind, that's what I'm seeing. I can't quite, off the top of my head, picture it. AWA World Championship. I'm seeing a silver faceplate with red in the background. Images. I've got a few. That's. There's quite a few different ones, so I can't quite make out which one. I think the one I was thinking of might have been the tag belt. That's what I was thinking of, and I think it was their tag title. Let me show you there. That is the one I was thinking of, with a silver face and like AWA, and it had red in the background, but that was their tag belt. I think that might have been their world one. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. It looks a little cheap. Like, the main thing looks cool, but the letters on the front, I don't know, not... Like, the main plate looks alright, but the lettering, I don't know, just looks a bit spaced out, and... Don't know, not sold. Right, we've got just over a minute to go. Just over a minute to go. When is the Fiend figure out in the UK? Haven't seen, but I think it was meant to be July time. Like around that time around the world, but I don't know what's going to happen, what with all the delays and everything that's happening right now, so I honestly can't say. The lettering looks bad. Yeah, I think the lettering looked a little off. NWA established her complete backstory, why her personality is the way it is, and put the women's division on notice. NWA made a star last night. Sean, completely agree. I think you've actually just said in a couple of sentences what just took me about 5 minutes to do. So well done to you, Sean. That looked a little bit plastic. Days at Money in the Bank, what do you think's going to happen with Braun and Bray? I think that Braun will be victorious. I think that Bray isn't going to be too bothered about winning the title. I know he says that he wants it, but I think that he will be trying to destroy Braun. So he could go a little bit too far, or could be a count out, or something along those lines. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not expecting him to be champ. Right, friends, we are underway. We've got Cody cutting a promo on AEW. We've got NXT just about to begin as well. Spawn Burton says, Days, thank you for all that you do. Shout out to you, Spawn Burton. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate the support. Really, really do. All right, I'm just listening to what Cody's saying. Did I break the throne because I was afraid to sit in it? That's a very good line from Cody. Cody asking, has he become a bit too comfortable? Is he just going to sit in the mid-card forever? Did he break the throne because he was too afraid to sit in it? It's a really, really good line, that. I really like that. Just keeping an eye on NXT as well. So as you said, we are up and running with both shows. Days, I like the silver ECW title and the Undisputed. I'm with you on the Undisputed. I mean, look, the problem that Dustin Rhodes has got is he said he will retire if he doesn't win tonight. But even if he wins, he's got to face Lance Archer next, I believe, and I can't see him winning that. There's an incident in the NXT locker room, but it's just a mess. Balor's been removed from the main event match. Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton. So, Velveteen Dreamers come down. We've got Tony and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is getting a lot of praise for his commentary recently. Jericho will make a great commentator when his in-ring career is done. Tonight we're going to hear from Matt Hardy as well on AEW. No Finn in the main event. No, very strange. Have you ever been to Wrestling Shop in Portsmouth? I have, yes. When I used to live down in Southampton, I popped there once. Balor removed. Cross attacked the Prince. It was Imperium, says Swamp Manor. Nice. Oh, hello. Here comes, is it Adam Cole? Yeah, Adam Cole has made his way out. Adam Cole asking him to shut his music off. Look at Dream. He looks cool. Adam Cole says the winner of Dream versus Finn Balor would have been the #1 contender. So it's a little bit convenient that Balor now isn't able to compete. So I think Cole's under the impression that this is Velveteen Dream's fault, but I agree with you guys. I think it was someone else. They're just running through the card tonight over on AEW. Oh, the rest of Undisputed Era attacking the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is getting absolutely destroyed right now. Days fill in the match boxes. I can't. There's no matches. There's nothing to tell you about. At the moment, we've just got Adam Cole and Undisputed Era destroying Velveteen Dream. And Keith Lee has come down. Keith Lee comes down and he manages to push 3 members of Undisputed Era away. I think Kyle O'Reilly is still missing. Against the ropes goes Keith. Oh! Big shoulder charge and Undisputed Era go flying out the ring. So, we haven't started with any action yet on AEW or NXT. It's going to lead to a tag match, is it? Is that our main event? Days, I might not be here for long because my Wi-Fi isn't working and I'm having to use 4G. No worries, Ben Russell. Shout out to you. Obviously, we got Drake Maverick tonight. That was a big part of our conversation before the shows began. So, here we go tonight. El Hijo del Fantasma taking on Jack Gallagher. Kushida taking on Tony Nese. And Drake Maverick. Here he is. Look, Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas. We've also got Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae tonight. Bask in his glory. Bask in his glory. Shotzi making her way down. So we're going to be starting with the ladies. The lovely ladies. The lovely ladies are starting us off. She's come down in a tank again. She loves that tank. I love that tank. Look at that. Shotzi coming down in that tank. I need Mattel. If you're watching, I want a Shotzi figure with a tank accessory. That's what I need. Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. Nox. Who's there? Tegan. Shotzi Blackheart. Tegan Nox taking on Dakota Kai. and the other one, Raquel Giant Gonzalez. There we go. That's a lot of text. That is a lot of text. Drake Maverick likes it, though. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I think we're building towards Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara over on AEW. Days, if Dustin wins, do you think Cody will end Dustin's career? I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, is it just for this match? If he gets through, he ain't getting past Lance Archer. I really don't see that. Unless Lance Archer puts him in a submission hold and doesn't release it or something. Right, we're underway with Tegan Nox in the ring with Raquel Gonzalez. Ben Russell, shout out to you. Has AEW forgot that they're a wrestling show? I know there's just a lot of promoing going on, but they are making their way out now. Darby Allin on his way down. Darby Allin. Like this. Darby Allin. Darby Allin versus Sammy. Is that how you spell Guevara? I don't even know how you spell Guevara. It's close enough. Oh, he's attacked Darby Allin from behind. So, here we go. Bang. No messing around. Sammy Guevara with some lovely sparkly pants. Lovely sparkly pants. Nothing but respect for sparkly pants. And that is exactly what Sammy Guevara is sporting this evening. Sparkly pants Guevara has got Darby Allin over on NXT. Raquel Gonzalez to the outside. Here we go. Shotzi going up top. And big crossbody comes crashing down onto Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Sammy Guevara already going under the ring. DH, hello, my friend. Hope you are well. Triple H's new t-shirt, 25 years. Sonny Wolf says, sparkly pants. They're mine. I should imagine, Sonny Wolf, you've got several pairs of these sparkly pants already, just like I have, for special occasions. Here we go. Darby Allin into the railings, and the railings move, and the ladder falls down. So Darby Allin getting thrown all over ringside on AEW. Over on NXT, we've gone to commercial break. And he's going to pick up Darby, place him on top of the ladder. That ladder has got no giving it whatsoever. I don't know what he's got planned. But whatever it is, it's going to be highly, highly dangerous. Here we go. Sparkly pants going up top. What's he going to do? He's going to do like a coffin drop. Do you think he's going to do? No. Oh! No way. It's like a frog splash. He goes crashing onto Darby Allin. And they both just bounce off that ladder. That ladder had no give whatsoever. Look at it. Oh, there's no give on that ladder. He should have done that on a table. They should have done it on a table. The table would have broken. But there's no... Oh, that is nasty. That is nasty. Oh. Oh. Yes, Days, I've got plenty of the sparkly pants. I would love to get some more, though. I hear you. Days, my favourite title of all time is the IC title with the white strap, says Liam Costa Costa. Nice. I think AEW have gone to... I think they've seen that as a perfect time to go to commercial break as well. That was hardcore, man. That was hardcore. Darby probably is. Drake Maverick is the best. Drake Maverick #1. I legit have got no idea what's going on. Well, all you need to know is over on AEW, they have got some sparkly pants. Triple H is old. We've got some breaking news coming in from Delanio. Triple H is old. Days, what did you think of the Dream segment? Yeah, it was alright. Didn't really, I don't know, it was alright. Pretty generic wrestling segment 101, really. But it was alright. I should imagine it's going to set up a tag match. Like, if we hear that it's going to be Velveteen and Keith Lee taking on Undisputed Era in the main event, I will not be surprised. Let's put it that way. Right, well, talking of NXT, we're about to go back to NXT whilst AEW is still on commercial break. Raquel Gonzalez has got Shotzi Blackheart up. Is it like a torture rack that she's got her in? She's got her right over her shoulder and... charges her into the corner. And Dakota Kai getting involved. Dakota Kai has got some sparkly pants on as well. I am loving this. Wednesday night sparkly pants. That's what we've got. Who has got the sparkliest of all the pants? Dakota Kai or Sami Zayn? That's the big question. Dakota Kai running around, went for a big kick, but no one home. She grabs Shotzi. Shotzi going to look for an enziguri. Come on, Dakota. You could see that from a mile away. From an actual mile away. Duck underneath by Tegan. Tegan in there right now with Raquel Gonzalez. She pumps right in the boob. And again, lots of boob strikes. Big boob strikes. Forearm strikes. Strikes to the midsection. Another big forearm by Tegan. Goes for a clothesline. Raquel Gonzalez is wobbled. And again. Ooh, nice. Actually stomped on her foot. Tegan knocks. And a headbutt as well by Tegan. Tegan trying to hurl Raquel Gonzalez into the corner. She couldn't do it. Raquel Gonzalez charges into the corner and uppercut by Tegan. Top rope enziguri. We're back to AEW as well. Obviously, Dakota Kai going down hard to the outside. Dakota Kai down. Big crossbody. Gets caught by Raquel Gonzalez. Fall away slam. And Tegan is able to make the tag to Shotzi. Shotzi is now in. Shotzi up top, seated senton. And Sammy Guevara stomping away at the head of Darby Allin. Brutal stuff over on AEW. Tegan Knox saying get out and throw in Dakota to the outside. Big kick to the head. Tegan Knox is down. It leaves Shotzi and Raquel. Shotzi has got caught. She gets put down. Oh! One arm power bomb. 2, 3, and Raquel Gonzalez pins Shotzi Blackheart with a real show of strength. Dominance. So there we go. Tegan and Shotzi coming up just a little bit short. Raquel and Dakota win. Over on AEW, we're still underway between Sammy and Darby. Darby has got Sammy kind of tied up in the ropes a little bit. What's he trying to do? Is he trying to take off his sparkly pants? What's happening? He's pulling at something. I think he's trying to take off his boot. Oh, he has. He's managed to take his boot off. Ah, an ankle lock. Darby Allin has taken off the boot of Sammy Guevara, and he puts an ankle lock onto his exposed foot. That was cool. They're showing the video on NXT of Drake Maverick. with like emotional music in the background. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, if this is a work, that doesn't sit right with me, them showing that video. It doesn't sit right. I don't know. They're seriously making Drake Maverick's release a storyline. He's definitely going to get re-signed. Is it me, or is Drake getting a lot of WWE publicity? With his career hanging in the balance. This makes it... Oh, man. I just don't like it. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. What do you think? You've got to tell me what you think. I need to know what you're thinking. Because what I'm thinking is they've announced that they're letting Drake Maverick go. And now they're showing the video of him crying and getting upset on NXT. And the commentators are saying his career is hanging in the balance. His career's not hanging in the balance. You've let him go. He's been released. He was announced as being released. You released him. You let him go. Do you remember? Along with all of the other the other 29 other names and the other people that got furloughed. Yeah, people that actually lost their jobs. You let him go. His career's not hanging in the balance. This is not a story that they should be telling. Him being on the bump and them showing that video and comments like that make me feel not brilliant, is how I feel. WWE second thoughts. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't want to think that they're doing it. I don't think it's that bad. What do you mean, J14? Explain that. What do you think is not that bad? What do you not think is that bad? I would love for you to expand on that point for me. Is it because if he wins, he re-signs? No, dude, you're confusing storyline with real life. Like, there's a big difference between the two. Liam says, all I can say is I'm glad I didn't make a Drake shirt now. Well, I'm still pleased that I made mine because mine is like so fashionable. Mine is like so cool that, like, do you know what I mean? This is the kind of thing it looks like you would spend 50 quid on anyway. But yes, I need to know what people are thinking. I hope it's not a work, says DJ B Tazzy. Days AEW separating heel and face crowds is brilliant. Yeah, they've done that for a few weeks now. Yeah, it's a clever way of doing it, yes. Jerry says, Days, I don't like it. Vince thinks this is funny. I don't know if he thinks this is funny or if they're seeing this as an opportunity. I mean, in all fairness, it totally hooked me in because not for 1 second did I believe that they would treat this as a work. Not for 1 second, with people actually having been let go, that they would tell a story like this during that. Not for 1 second did I think that they would go sink that low. Well, if this is a work, at least we know Drake Maverick can cut a great emotional promo. Wrestling Days fan says, I'm confused. It could be that they saw the public reaction, so they decided to re-sign and have him use the fan support to push his character. you absolutely don't do that. You absolutely don't use this as if they've seen the response and they've decided to re-sign him, announce that you've re-signed him, right? Don't re-sign him on the quiet and try and tell a story that he's fighting for his job, because you've actually just let people go for real. You've actually just cost people their jobs. So let's not mess around with this storyline. I was hoping that he was going to put in great performances and then they would reconsider at some point, after the 3 matches. But the way that it's being presented feels awful to me. This is not sitting well with me at all right now. I'm just being completely honest. I'm a big supporter of this. I don't know what the truth is, but this is a very interesting conversation for us to be having. Suicide dive by Darby Allin. No one there. He goes absolutely smashing into the railings. He went hard into the railings there. Days, I'm getting suspicious about Drake being released from WWE. They wouldn't show a video with sad music. I know. What about everyone else that lost their jobs? Why resign one person? It just doesn't make sense. Don't forget, WWE took the real-life situation between Matt Lita and Edge and turned that into a storyline. Well, I kind of felt like they probably had the permission of them to do that. I like Drake Maverick. I think his heart's in the right place. I think that he is a good person and he might be getting caught up. It might be that they've seen the response. It's about earning his keep. No, you fired him. It's not about... Stop telling that story. It's not about earning his keep. That's not the story. That's not the story. The story is you fired him. This is horrific. This is horrific. If they're gonna tell a story that he needs to do well in this to get his job back, and they've let him go as part of a storyline, this will be one of the worst things in wrestling I have ever seen. I think that it is so offensive. I can't even get my head around it. I think it's horrific. I think that everyone involved in this should be absolutely ashamed, because you let people go. People lost their jobs. There's people now that don't have an income, and you're going to use that horrific situation to try and tell a storyline. You're going to use that to try and get someone over. It makes me feel ill. Byron Saxton needs to shut up. Backlash on this is going to be nuclear. The backlash on there, okay, I don't even need to look at Twitter. The backlash on this is going to be, forget it. If forget it. Days, now I'm wondering, are any of the other superstars at work? That is awful. Makes me feel ill. Most are going to get re-signed anyway. We don't know this. Think of what people have just gone through. What? You're being a little offended by this. I am being offended by this. I'm being massively offended by this. People are losing their jobs. You don't confuse real life with wrestling like this on things that are this serious. This is serious. There's people that don't know how they're going to pay their bills. There's people that are struggling in the world right now, and we've all just watched people losing their jobs from WWE, and now all of a sudden they're going to tell a story out of it, and they're going to use it in a storyline. It's horrific. It's horrific. You don't play around with those kinds of things. You don't play around. There's loads of stories that you can tell in wrestling, but you can't tell that story. You can't mess around with real life. Look, you've now got people questioning so is everyone else a work? What else was a work? All these people that are let go, were they let go? Have they just been furloughed? Are they going to bring them back? Is this to build sympathy? Like, I think it's really bad. I think it's really, really bad. I think it's really, really bad if they're going to use... So this could all have been a work all along. So he wasn't let go. So was that, that emotional video, was that made up? That emotional video where he's sitting there and he's getting upset, is that completely made up? How deep does this go? Because we know there's been a camera crew following him around for a couple of weeks, and apparently it's all to do with his in-ring appearance. I don't know what the truth is. I'm sat here supporting him because I wanted him to do well. I wanted him to do well in this match, and I hoped that WWE had changed their mind. But what if that was never the truth at any point? What if he never got released, but they just announced that he got released? To tie a storyline in with people losing their jobs is so offensive. I can't even fathom it. I never thought WWE would do that. I never thought WWE would go that like that and do that. I never thought that. Anna Dawes says to advance a storyline off the back of people's jobs is sickening. Vince and Triple H need to get a grip. The Canellises lost their whole income. Also, look, I don't know. WWE's NXT Twitter page even says Drake Maverick's fate hangs in the balance. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know what to say. All I'm going to say is I will be disgusted. I will be absolutely disgusted if this has all been a work. If this is a storyline. If that promo that we saw of his emotion and him getting upset and everything, if all of that was a work, and this is all one big story, I never ever would have thought they would have gone that far. Never in a million years would I have thought that they'd have gone that far. Ever. If anyone in the chat said, "Oh, do you think this is all a work?" I would have shot them down. I would have been like, "Don't be so ridiculous. Don't be so ridiculous. They're not going to be messing up. This is people's livelihoods. This isn't just a wrestling storyline." I'm really worried about this now. Atlas gets the win over Drake Maverick. Kenny Omega in action next. I'm really worried about this. It's not a work, says Chronic Wrestling. Rover on commercial break for AEW. Atlas picks up the win over Drake Maverick. I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know what they're doing. Monica King says, I'm beyond confused. Join the club. The storyline could have from the support that he has gotten. Yes, but as we said before, if it's a case that they have now changed their mind, then that's the story. Due to the, overwhelming support, we've decided to, don't play this out that he's fighting for his job. That it's this is not an opportunity for a storyline. Jono Fong, shout out to you. Days, I'm not trying to be mean. Let it play out. It might not be a storyline. It might not be a storyline. The only thing I'm gonna say is, okay, put it this way then, right? So let's have a look at best case scenario, if you want to call it best case scenario. It's not a storyline, and they really have released him, okay? And now what they're doing is they're playing his Twitter video, his emotional Twitter video. They're playing that on NXT with sad music in the background. And Byron Saxton is saying on commentary, we really, it hangs in the balance. We really hope that he can dig deep and get it done. He's got so much to prove. All of this, remember, whilst he's been released, okay? So, dig deep, Drake. Come on, your fate hangs in the balance. And all of this is best case scenario. This isn't a storyline, as we've said, okay? So, he's been released, and this is what's happening now. He's got to dig deep and everything. And then what's going to happen at the end? He goes? He gets let go? Or what happens? They try to build up support and they re-sign him? If they do, try to build up support, if they are actively trying to build support through showing videos like that, through commentary like that, then it is a story, isn't it? They've got every intention right now of re-signing him. As we're sat here right now, doesn't matter what we do. They've got every intent. They already know what story they want to tell. I don't believe they're going to be playing his video, that very real, very personable video, right, with the emotional music in the background. I don't believe they play that on NXT. And I don't believe they say the things that they're saying on commentary if they don't have the intention of re-signing him. When did they get that intention? And if it was, like some are saying, if it was a case that it's been what people have said recently, maybe since he got released, they saw the support. Maybe people have bought I don't even know. I mean, I'm not seeing loads of people buying like shirts of his from. There wasn't really any merch to get. How would WWE have got an indication that they needed to take him back? Was it just the emotion of the video? If that's the story and they've decided to take him back, brilliant. I'm over the moon for him. But tell us that you've signed him again. Don't make this part of a storyline, because there's other people that have actually lost their jobs. And it's too serious to mess around with. It's far too serious to mess around with. So that worries me more than anything I think I've seen for a long time. People in power never let a crisis go to waste, says Legato Blue Summers. Well, you can make your own mind up. We're going to move on from it. It is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sure you'll be able to see the reaction on Twitter. And it's done. We'll move on. He's lost that match, and we'll see where it leads. Vince has been doing this for years now, says the big guy. With Triple H, it's just as bad. So disrespectful. Talk about kicking a guy when he's down. Ben Russell says, Days, Drake was on the bump today, and he said the NXT crew had been following him for his return to the ring. Yes. Because how else would you explain an NXT crew following him if this was all a work? What do you want him to say? Oh, they've been following me because the plan is that I'm going to get released, but actually I'm going to then be in this tournament and everyone's going to support me and I'm going to get re-signed. What do you want him to say? Why is this crew following you around? It's a secret. So yeah, it could be. I don't know what the truth is. Right, we've got Kenny Omega in the ring. Kenny Omega against Allin or someone. I didn't quite catch his name. I'm going to call him Allin. Kenny Omega versus Allin. We got Damian Priest on screen. Keith Lee as well. WWE is going to release him and then join the hacker and expose WWE's true colours. Daze, did you see Loomis in the corner of the brawl that started NXT? Cal, no, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I didn't see him lurking in the shadows. It's interesting. Maybe Loomis was the one that attacked Finn Balor. Kushida. Who's Kushida facing? Kushida is facing Tony Nese. We've got a few little video packages here. There's one for Kushida. Jerry Smith says, I agree, they shouldn't be making this into a story. I sent it on Twitter. I didn't see him there. No, I didn't see him at the start. Drake in the video said if he doesn't make a good impression, he doesn't know what to do. Tony Nese making his way down. Drop kick to the legs of Kenny. Sent on across the back. They're just showing him winning the Cruiserweight title. Tony Nese over on NXT. Yeah, I agree, Jerry. I agree. Loomis was holding his wrist and his green gear to the left of the Titantron, says Ray. Tony Nese looks like Jay White from New Japan. Yeah, I'm getting some Jay White vibes. Days, is it true that Sarah Logan is coming back? We don't know. I mean, that was rumoured. I think it was it? I can't remember who rumoured it. Ryan, was it? Ryan Satin? Or Sean Ross, can't remember. But one of them rumoured that they were going to make an appearance on Monday, and they never did. So we don't know what's happening with that situation. We're underway with Tony Nese taking on Kushida. We've got Kenny battling Allin over on AEW. We're 42 minutes in. Tony Nese is about to be kidnapped. Hello, Sean. Hope you are well. Elijah, shout out to you. I do like Kushida. Kushida showing off in front of Tony Nese. Tony Nese taking down Kushida. I think it was Meltzer and Satin that reported it. Chalmers says, doesn't Ryan Satin have his own satin sheet on WWE? Is he allowed to spread rumours? He does, yes, have his own satin sheet. everyone who loses to Kushida gets kidnapped. Is that true? Allin almost with a pin on Kenny Omega. J14 says Kushida deserves to win the tournament, in my opinion. I think Kushida definitely deserves to be a champion, yes. Days, perhaps Drake gave them permission. Maybe Drake did give them permission to use that and put emotional music behind and try to drum up support, but I still don't understand what they're doing with that. Even if he did give permission, I don't get it. I don't understand. Is it all right if we use your emotional video, we put emotional music behind it, and we tell the fans that you're fighting for your future? Well, of course he's going to say, like, yeah, because it sounds like, there might be a chance that he can stay. But it's like dangling a carrot, isn't it? Like, if he's going, then he's going. If he's staying, then he's staying. What's this? What's this carrot dangling that they're teasing? What's this? The Drake Maverick storyline is the same what they did with Heath Slater to save his job when he was going for the tag titles. Bembo, I'd have to look back into that, but I can't. I don't think people actually lost their jobs at that time, did they? I'd have to go back and look at it because I can't recall that off the top of my head. Wasn't it something to do with him being the final? Was it him being the final draft? Wasn't he like the final pick of the draft and he had to win the titles, otherwise he would lose his job? But that has got nothing to do with people actually losing their jobs. That's a storyline. There's a lot of people that are confusing storylines with real life. V-Trigger by Kenny Omega are at commercial break on NXT. Days, is it true that Gallows and Anderson were re-signed? I haven't seen that reported. Days, do you like Cody and Dustin when they were Stardust and Goldust? I was a fan of Goldust in the 90s. Goldust was cool. I think he was at his best in the 90s. Stardust never felt like a good fit. I think Cody would be the first to say that he never quite got it to work. So, maybe not as big a fan of Stardust as I was of Goldust. Shout out to Sean Gee. If he is indeed leaving, then they shouldn't have shown that video. Slater was never drafted and was looking for a job on Raw and SmackDown. Heath didn't have a brand, so he needed to find a partner or he would be a free agent. They're going to New Japan, says your boy. It was because he didn't get drafted, and that was to show that SmackDown was the land of opportunity. Yeah, so again, it was all just storyline. Hello to Ryan. Hope you are well. We are at commercial break for NXT. What about Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer? Title for title at Wrestle Kingdom. A rematch Texas Death Match. Yeah, be interesting. Re-signing released stars makes no sense because why release them in the first place? The only thing I would say is that if they have, made a connection with the WWE Universe and the WWE Universe has made it very, very clear they don't want that person to go, and, how much would Drake Maverick have been on? His wage would be minute, wouldn't it? Like, compared to the saving that they're making, and, I hope that he is re-signed. I want him to be re-signed. I know what this means to him. I've seen other videos, not even that one that they showed, just ones in the past where he talks about how important this was to him. So I hope he is re-signed. I hope, we found some money somewhere. You know, Vince is going to take less of a bonus this year or something like that, and so as a result, we can bring Drake Maverick back. I hope that I've got no issue with that happening. I hope that does happen. Just don't do it as part of a story. Who do you think attacked Finn? Well, it could be Dexter Lumis. It seems like he was being teased if he was standing in the shadows. I think they're hiding the true identity of the hacker. It is going to be someone big and unexpected because this has been the main focus of SmackDown and it's been worked hard to build investment. Jaden says, I want Maverick re-signed, just don't make it a story. That makes the other released superstars feel like beep. Yes, Jaden. The winner of the tournament is the interim champ. So when Jordan Devlin comes back, does the champ have to drop the title or is there a match? No, there tends to be a match. You tend to get the champion versus the interim champion. And then the winner is the champ. Drake had a decent run for his skill set. They are actors. Why haven't we got a Volta figure? Might be on the way soon. I don't know why we haven't had one yet. There's probably been other things they've been working on that they feel is maybe a higher priority. I mean, you don't tend to see Volta all that much. So they'll prioritise main roster and then they'll prioritise NXT. And Volta's not someone that you see all the time on NXT. You know, where's the Kushida figure, for example? We're coming up to Orange Cassidy match against Jimmy Havoc, which will be fun. Did Keith Lee turn heel? No. The hacker is going to be Jim Cornette. Brody Lee versus The Undertaker. There is a Drake Maverick figure. Yeah, there's meant to be an Elite figure on the way as well. Hello to Dylan. Hope you are well. Days, most of the people that got released were in tag teams. So could a new faction of them start to expose tag teams? I don't know what you mean, dude. Most of the people that got released were in tag teams. Okay. So could a new faction start to expose tag team secrets? I don't know how they relate to each other. You chilled out, Days. I hope you are okay. I was angry and I'm still angry about it. I think what I've just seen really disgusted me. I think even if he's going to use that footage, I think is appalling. If they got his permission to use it, like, I can understand that. But why is Byron saying that he's got to fight for his future or his... This is what gets to me. His fate hangs in the balance. No, it doesn't. It does not hang in the balance. You let him go. He's been released. He's got 3 matches and then he's done. If you're thinking of re-signing him, then re-sign him. Don't think about it. Do it. If you're thinking of doing it, just do it. Don't dangle a carrot. Don't dangle a carrot. That's not a company that I want to support. I'm telling you, PR disaster. I don't even need to look at Twitter. The hacker is Days. Do you think the hacker is Sting? I don't think so. Okay, we're at commercial break on AEW, and Kushida getting the submission win over Tony Nese. Kushida getting the victory over Tony Nese. That's a big win for Kushida. That's going to massively help him in this tournament. It's obvious. The TNT Championship Tournament, the final is going to be Lance versus Cody, Dustin retiring, and Darby attacking Cody. Just a distraction. I don't know, BS, I don't know that Dustin will retire because I just can't imagine that in front of no fans. I can't imagine why he would do that in front of no fans. Days Thunder Rosa versus Sonya Deville. MMA 3 rounds. Who do you think wins? Chalmers, I've not seen enough of Sonya's work. I've seen Thunder Rosa and she was excellent. So I would be leaning towards Thunder Rosa actually, but I don't know enough about how great Sonya was. Kushida wins. He does. Big Kushida fan. Great wrestler. Great wrestler. Backstage with Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. Tea time. It's not that I don't love tea time. I saw Timothy Thatcher match, actually. I saw Timothy Thatcher. I can't remember who he took on. But he is a great wrestler. I think it might have been on the Catch You Can Wrestling Twitter account. It was brilliant. It was brilliant, that catch. If you ever get a chance to go on, have a look. I'm sure it's called Catch You Can Wrestling. It tells you all about intricate wrestling moves and everything. It's really interesting. Trust me, bro. Matt Riddle says next week we're going to show how beautiful you really are next week. Jimmy Havoc making his way down. Jody Gilly, shout out to you. An excellent Abby's window, as I said earlier. Jimmy Havoc. Here we go. Freshly squeezed orange Cassidy. Ali and Shorty G's tag team name would be Ali G. We've got Johnny and Candice coming out. This really could see the arrival of Karrion Kross. Obviously I'm not expecting anything in ring or anything like that, but there could be some kind of interruption. Right, we're underway. Jimmy Havoc is stomping away on Orange Cassidy. Jimmy Havoc has jumped Orange Cassidy already, and Orange Cassidy is down in the ring. Havoc is stomping away. This is only what I feel like they could have made a bigger deal out of this. Orange Cassidy competing in ring is like it's a treat. It's a real, you know what I mean? This should be like main event. Shouldn't this be main event? So there we go. Penelope Ford wiping her shoes all over the jacket. Orange Cassidy's jacket. Oh, and now Jimmy Havoc trying to take the top off of Orange Cassidy. DJ B Tazzy says, Days, do you think Imperium attacked Finn? I'm not sure. It could have something to do with Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis apparently hiding in the shadows. So it could have something to do with Dexter Lumis. Crystal says AEW is not good. Orange thrown to the outside. So Orange is down on the outside. Jimmy Havoc grabbing him by the arm. He's freshly squeezed the life out of this idiot, says Jericho. Orange Cassidy put on top of the barricade. Rusty Shackelford, shout out to you, buddy. Gonna drop a thank you at the bottom for you, Rusty. Shackleford. Shout out to you, Rusty. Hope you are well. Jimmy has got Orange up against the ring post. There's a big chop there. Big chop right across the chest. We are getting towards the halfway point, so I always take this opportunity to get your halftime scores, which I will get in a second, but I think we've got a Karrion Kross promo. We're seeing Scarlett. You can't stop it. Doomsday is upon us. So there we go. Nice little promo. Nice little promo for Karrion Kross. Jimmy Havoc in total control right now on Orange Cassidy. He's taken off his top, he's taken off his t-shirt, he's battered him outside the ring. He is just torturing him. We're over in the... We're around the Garganos right now. We're just seeing Johnny and Candice at home, I think. Man, this will be cool if someone bursts into their house. I'm just trying to see if this is heelish or not. I'm trying to make a call as whether Johnny Gargano is being a heel. Who would have thought that Johnny would have been the heart and soul of NXT? Orange Cassidy still down, writhing in pain. We feel great, says Johnny. The true fairy tale is NXT. Ooh. The NXT that I love has become a toxic wasteland. This is dark. It's gone. Johnny, can you sign this? Yeah, no problem. He's talking about doing birthday messages and... I'm tired of saying yes to everything. Heel turn. I'm sick and tired of waving the NXT flag. That's just the NXT way. I've been unappreciated since I stepped foot in the place. I put them before myself. It's a very weird promo. The way that they're talking, then all of a sudden it goes like all black and white. Shout out to everyone because you're all awesome people. Jody, thank you so much for the support. You know you don't have to do that. Don't forget as well, you can check out Abby's window over on the Insiders Wrestling podcast that Jody puts together. It was really, really interesting listen. I was listening whilst I was setting the stream up. We're going to take what we deserve, says Johnny. Orange Cassidy fighting back against Jimmy Havoc over on AEW. Orange placed up top. I wondered what was on the table. I was trying to figure out what's under that glass dome. I was like, what's on the table? It's the cup that he wore. He's really, really proud of that cup, isn't he? I was trying to figure out what it was. We tried to fix NXT. Your boy says, I think I get this promo. It's a bit like Bonnie and Clyde. We make history. First married couple. Do you know what would be really cool? Could you imagine if they did Adam Cole and Charlotte versus Candice and Johnny? Whichever team wins gets the belts. So if Johnny and Candice win, they become the new NXT and NXT Women's Champions. Women's Champion. Obviously, Johnny doesn't become the Women's Champ. Candice gets the Women's belt. Johnny would get the NXT title. It's like everything into one match. Penelope Ford's getting involved now over on AEW. Orange picks up the win. I gotta tell you, I was keeping an eye on this AEW match. It was very good. Hard hitting. No messing around in it. And best friends having to chase off Kip Sabian. Io Shirai on NXT. OC is fighting back. Havoc beats Orange for 95% of the match, and the comedy act guy wins, says Charles. It was a hard-hitting match. A lot of people aren't sure about Orange because, like, obviously he's got a very unique style, but there was no sign of that. It was a good, hard-hitting match. Orange keeps collapsing down. Is that exhausted? Right, I think we're about to go. Get your halftime scores in. Get your halftime scores in. We're going to hear from MJF. We've got Wardlow in action. I think NXT is about to go to commercial break. Get your halftime scores in. What do you think of both shows so far? Sophia says, hi days, a long time no see. I've been super busy with all my online lessons and assignments I've had to finish. Hashtag crazy days. Hope you are well. Shout out to you, Sophia. I hope they're all done now, are they? Sounds like you've had to finish them, so hopefully they're all done. So yeah, shout out to you, buddy. Coaster Maniac says party. Jody Gilly, Rusty Shackelford. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs. Shout out to Rusty Shackelford. Shout out to Jody Gilly. Shout out to all of you. Very, very kind, very supportive. Scores coming in right now. Days, I'm not sure if I'll be on the ECW One Night Stand stream tomorrow. I should hopefully be on that stream unless I'm super tired. Yes, we are going to be watching ECW tomorrow. ECW One Night Stand. That will start at 11 UK. And I think that's around about 6 Eastern. So 6 Eastern or 11 No, hang on. Yeah, 6 Eastern, 11 UK. It was voted for by you guys on the stream the other day, and it's ECW One Night Stand. We're going to be watching it on the network, so there is a stream lined up for tomorrow. Days, I think this is a tie with neither show being super crazy. They have both been interesting. Days, would Undertaker be good in AEW? Undertaker would be good in any promotion. He would do great work in Shimmer. Is Io face or heel? She is a heel, but I don't know how they're going to present her against Charlotte, because Charlotte is a heel as well. So I can't get a read of how they're going to do that match, to be honest. I'm back on this account again. No problem. We are at commercial break on both shows. We've only got 50 minutes left. 50 minutes left. And then we will just do a quick little post-show rundown. And then we pass over to the Insiders. The Insiders have got another interview lined up on their channel. So, yeah, the conversation will carry on over there as soon as we are finished. Not biased, AEW is a little bit better. Bama says NXT 7, AEW 7.5, Jericho commentary 10. Celebrity Edits says, do you think that Dustin will retire tonight? I don't think so. I think for him to have had the career that he has had, I don't understand why he would retire when there's no crowd. I really feel like if you're going to do it, you've got to do it in front of the fans. His career is, you know, I mean, I can't remember when I first saw him. He was at a Royal Rumble. I remember him being in a tag team with his dad. Dustin and Dusty competed at the Royal Rumble in the early 90s. It might have been 91. I mean, he has been around for a long time. Sasuke 100k. Watch this space, that's all I'm going to say. Lee Johnson making his way out. Right, Mia Yim making her way out. I don't know who Mia Yim's facing. Who's Mia Yim facing? I don't think they announced Mia Yim was going to be in action tonight, so I haven't got that info. We've got Wardlow's making his way out. So Wardlow against Lee Johnson, was it? Jessie? She's the girl that wore glasses. Does she still wear glasses? Is she in the ring already? Where is she? Oh, they've changed her look. When I was in America, I actually saw Jessie wrestle. She came out and she had like not a nerdy gimmick. I don't want to say she was a nerd, but she came out with like glasses and she was like all really cutesy and like like waving at the crowd and everything. Now she's got like a different vibe to her. ...2017, so she's been in NXT for 3 years, and they just clearly don't quite know what to do with her. Right, let me change over. This as well. We got Wardlow taking on Johnson, I think his name was. I can't remember his name. I was too busy looking over and watching that. Days can't score AEW because I don't watch it. I watch it at weekends. It makes no sense to give Jimmy Havoc another loss whilst giving Orange Cassidy his first win in front of no crowd. Snipers says, I'm hating WWE for what they're doing with Drake. He deserves better. Eagles Lair says, an absolute disaster. Media outlets and websites all have a field day with this because it's wrong. Was Jesse in the Mae Young Class? That's a really good question. I'm not sure. It's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know if she was. I can't remember. I can't remember who was in Mae Young Classics. She may have been. Joaquin says, what's the new topic for the Wrestling Escape Pod? This Friday, it is going to be... This Friday, it's going to be worst results. Worst results. And next week, it was voted, it'll be funniest moments. I gotta say, this week's episode is quite serious. Like, there's some really bad results that shouldn't have gone that way, so it's kind of hard to talk about it. I think that I'm just going to give you a heads up. We talk about Triple H and Booker T, and if you don't know that story, it's pretty awful. The build was horrible. I mean, yeah, there's some fun moments in the episode, but it's quite not a serious episode. I don't know. I haven't started editing it yet, so I can't tell you. But I just remember recording it. Tommy was joking, saying, man, we're going to need a fun episode after this one. So funniest moments will be a week on Friday. So, yeah, we've got Wrestling Escape Pod on Friday. Wardlow picking up the victory. It's quite nice to see Jesse in action. Mia Yim with a clothesline. What if the hacker is Shelton Benjamin? Top of the worst results is Hell in a Cell from last year. Nice work by Mia Yim. 1, 2, 3. She gets the win over Jessie. So Mia Yim gets the win over Jessie. I'm not sure what they've got planned for Jessie. I don't know if they're just starting to introduce her now. I think she's got a good look. Days, if the Maverick stuff is storyline, I think it's as bad as Who Slammed Big Show video during the releases. Charlotte's here. Charlotte on her way out. The Queen. Charlotte come down to have a few words with Mia Yim. Mia Yim has been vocal on social media about Charlotte. I hope you want this match as well. She's just going to wallop her, isn't she? I would be honored. You helped make me a star 5 years ago. Next week, I'm going to help finally make you a star. Okay, so she didn't hit her. Instead, she just patronized her. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Ever since Flair won the title, she's done a lot of talking, but not fighting. Right, we're looking at Jack Gallagher. He says, I've been in the cruiserweight division for 4 years. I'm here to be a champion. I'm not here to be a joke anymore. I like that. Mia Yim. Burry about to come back next week. So, coming up next, Jack Gallagher in action. Do you think Triple H will join Money in the Bank? I don't know. It might benefit from having him in it. But, I don't know. Perhaps he knows, like, a secret way to get to the roof and he's going to sell to the highest bidder. That might be quite fun. Gallagher's been repackaged, yes. Liam Costa says, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't like Orange Cassidy. I hate comedy gimmicks. He's probably a great person, but I just hate his gimmick and I can't watch him. Do you think Seth had a better heel turn in 2014 or 2014? You mean when he turned on the Shield? It was way better. That's one of the best heel turns ever. Sophia says, Days, I've got a little bit of schoolwork left to do. Thank God I finished most of the work. I was going insane. Shout out to you, Sophia. Ben, I didn't see his hair. I saw a clip of him, but I didn't notice his hair. Brody Lee just having a word with a prospect. A new signee for the Dark Order. A lot of people around here are afraid of success. Is it someone that we're going to know? Who's he talking to? Who's Brody Lee talking to? Who is that? Don't know. A mask getting slid over. I don't know if we're going to see the face of this person. You are one of us. You are now Dark Order. Who is it? Never see who it is. Justin Law making his way out now on AEW. We've got just over half an hour to go. Little mention of WCW on AEW. Justin Law. Who's this going to... Is Brody in action? I think Brody Lee is meant to be in action tonight, so... Could be Brody that's about to make his way out. Yeah, it says the Exalted One. Moxley was better, yes. Rusev, we never... It didn't look like Rusev, no. We're just looking at Robert Stone and Chelsea Green. Coastamaniac says, I'll catch you tomorrow. Jackson just woke up. No problem, Coastamaniacs. Thank you for the support. Thank you for joining us. Days, was Ambrose better than Moxley? My favourite version was Ambrose in the Shield. I think when he went solo, it didn't work as well. So Shield Ambrose is my favourite. Dace, who do you think is going to win the interim cruiserweight championship tournament? I agree with the chat. I hope that it turns out to be Kushida. Dustin is going to turn heel after losing. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. So he's threatened to retire, but you think he won't. He'll just actually turn heel. Didn't think about that. That's very interesting. Right, here comes gentleman Jack Gallagher. He's got a cape. What's he wearing? I've never seen him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Jack. No longer the gentleman that many of us remember. King Gallagher? Yes. Yeah, that's a very weird entrance attire, isn't it? I mean, I like it. Makes him stand out. Anything that's going to catch the eye. Anything that's a talking point. But this is a debut. We've not seen this guy before. It's kind of fun music, isn't it? Del Fantasma. With a pink cape. Getting Neville vibes. Remember Neville when he first went up to the main roster and they put him in purple, sorry. Brody Lee picking up the win over on AEW. Right, here we go. Fantasma against Jack Gallagher. Fantasma is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Let's put it that way. Fantasma not happy with Jack Gallagher. Brody Lee standing and staring at Marko Stunt. Little smile on his face as he walks away. Front face lock. Nice reversal by Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher's a very good wrestler. He's got leopard print now on his trunks. I can't... Have they just thrown like a million ideas at him and he's just gone, yes. Jack, how about you get a tattoo? Yes. How about you get like leopard print on your trunks? Yes. How about you have like some crazy entrance gear? Yes. How about we give you new theme music? Yes. Okay. Any one of them? No, all of them. Okay. Gentleman Jack has changed. He has. James N., how bad would it be if they planned his release amongst actual fire-ins and had him be a plant of sorts to draw dramatic viewership from a real-life situation? Well, James, let's just say I wouldn't be a fan. Kick out by Fantasma. Jack Gallagher versus Neville at Fastlane 2017 should have been Jack's moment. Days, can you start the stream tomorrow a bit early so I don't miss the NFL draft? What, is there an NFL draft, is there? Days, there's rumours that it's EC3. What's EC3? The hacker? You mean EC3 that got released? Jack hurling Fantasma into the railings. Do you like Triple H? I like Triple H. Yeah, I do like Triple H. I think that's going to be a very interesting episode of SmackDown. Days, is there any news that Money in the Bank will be live? No. I haven't seen any rumours on that, to be honest. AEW, how about we get Justin Bieber to sing your entrance music? Brody, yes. Oh, I never heard. Nice kick by Fantasma. I don't know how to refer to him. Oh, the masked man in the Dark Order. Okay. Over the top, to the outside. That might be a very interesting way of getting around any no-compete clauses. Just have him wrestle under a mask. I think they've taped future episodes, though, so unless they're going to tape specific matches, I think they've got quite a few AEWs already in the can. So I'm not sure it is. I don't know. Nick Experience says, I want Gallagher to win. Kerno, yeah, he's not looking brilliant so far. AEW is taped, so it won't be a WWE star. Days, what is the stream about tomorrow? We're doing a watch-along for ECW, One Night Stand. Days, my son is using the purple Mysterio Elite from 61 as Phantasmo. That's cool. That's a very good idea. It's EC3. Brody asked his weight 240, which EC3 is. He asked his height 6'2", which EC3 is. Well, I suppose they always could have just recorded that and inserted it as a separate thing, but into the show. Unless, of course, EC3's contract was coming up anyway, and EC3 said to them that he wasn't going to re-sign. Next week, Brody Lee takes on Marko Stunt. So, Cody versus Darby Allin. That's the one semi-final. That's next week. Coming up next, Kip Sabian takes on Dustin Rhodes. Bama said that was not EC3. Days, what would Lana do after she eventually breaks up with Lashley? I'd probably go back to Rusev. What brand do you like on WWE? I've always said NXT. Days NFL is professional football. Yes, I thought it was all cancelled at the moment. Do you know who Bars and Melody are? Yes. They're two kids that won a talent show a few years ago. It was EC4, not EC3, says Berta Spark. The man in the hoodie could be Carl Anderson, and later Luke Gallows will join as well. Ringside just tweeted that WWE is over 500 million in debt. We've got the Bubbly Bunch doing some sort of... I mean, I'm all right with this. You know, they're giving us new content. This feels like something you would see on, like, Being the Elite. So they're flim-flamming rather than TikToking. Over on NXT, we've got Jack Gallagher still battling away against Fantasma. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows already said they're going to go to New Japan. Ricky says, how are you watching AEW in the UK? I'm watching it on Fight TV. You can subscribe and watch it on there live. Hi Days, you know how I said I went for a walk and wasn't watching the stream? When I took a walk, I watched the stream. Okay, shout out to you. Maybe Dustin wins, faces Archer and loses and retires to fuel Cody against Archer. I don't know. I mean, like, he said that he was going to retire if he loses to Kip Sabian. I don't think he said he's going to retire... If he wins today, he doesn't have to retire if he loses to Lance Archer. James says, just tweeted it to you. Okay, thanks, bud. Bubbly Bunch, yeah. Big forearm strikes by Fantasma. There's been some good wrestling on NXT. Jericho on TikTok. Days, did you see EC3's Twitter promo shoot on MJF and WWE? I did not. No, I didn't. AEW have taped shows right up to the pay-per-view. They've got nothing after that. It's true. They could always insert the odd segment, though, couldn't they? Like, if they wanted to, if they needed to. Nice suicide dive by Fantasma. The background of EC3's website is a destroyed city, says the Nick Experience. Have you seen Cody Rhodes on TikTok? I have not. I never go on. I don't even have TikTok. I know it's been the talk of the town since coronavirus arrived, but no, I don't go on there. Fantasma charging over, European uppercut into Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Nice. Double underhook roll through. Kick out by Gallagher. Pac versus Matt Hardy would be good, says BS. We are at commercial break on AEW. I think we've got one match to go, which is going to be that Dustin Rhodes match. 1, 2. Oh, kick out. Jack Gallagher. Everyone download TikTok as soon as the virus became big. I've had it for 2 years. What's TikTok? Where does El Hijo del Fantasma come from? I think he's Mexican. He was in Lucha Underground. He's been in Impact as well. One, two, and he's got him as well. He's beaten Jack Gallagher. So, big debut for him. Del Fantasma getting the win. How long till the hacker gets blurred? Don't know what you mean. We're still at commercial break for AEW. Over on NXT, a big win for Fantasma. Is that a Michinoku driver that he won with? Yeah, it was. So, Tozawa and Fantasma both have 1 win each. Atlas and Kushida have 1 win each in Group A and Group B. Here we go. He's going to take the microphone. We're going to hear from him. Speaking Spanish. Muchas gracias. So he's kind of really coming across like a face. Big smile on his face. Muchas gracias. All this kind of stuff. Velveteen Dream and Keith Lee taking on Undisputed Era. So it is going to be a tag match. Let's jump over and change this. Lee and Dream versus Undisputed Era. Right, so that's going to be our main event over on NXT. Over on AEW, we're going to have Dustin Rhodes taking on Kip Sabian. Commercial break for NXT. And we're just hearing from Dustin Rhodes right now. Daze, do you think The Fiend will attack Triple H? I don't think so. Will we get info on Finn's attacker tonight, or will we have to wait? I would imagine we're going to have to wait, Andy. I would think we would have to wait. Unless it's going to turn out to be Karrion Kross, or unless Dexter Lumis makes his way back out again. I think those two have got to be favourites for it. Days, I think Drake gets support from backstage like Sarah does in the women's locker room. I honestly think they'll re-sign both. It's weird that only live sport here in the UK on BT Sport is wrestling. That's true. Dustin needs to retire. His body is slowing down, says Train Dude 5. Kip Sabian's here with Penelope Ford. That's a good point by Tony. Tony's saying this is one of his biggest matches of his career. Why would he get involved in the Jimmy Havoc Orange Cassidy match earlier? Here comes Dustin Rhodes. And don't forget, if Dustin loses, he retires. Or he said he'll retire. I saw Tony Khan had tweeted out earlier about this. Brandy coming out with Dustin. His valet in Lucha Underground was or Zomb. Do you think Impact will invade WWE? No. Jericho just said that there's the fact there's even a shadow of a doubt that Dustin thinks he might not win this match already says to me that he already has. Every match that I go into, I'm going to win. Very interesting from Jericho. Next week, we've got Charlotte taking on Mia Yim on NXT. We're underway with our main event over on AEW. Next week as well, Keith Lee, Damian Priest. I really do think that Fiend is going to attack Triple H. Okay. During the commercial, is Fantasma about to get kidnapped by the Lucha van? Fantasma trying to fight back against the Luchas and the Lucha van. They couldn't do it. They couldn't steal Fantasma. They tried to take Fantasma, but they couldn't take him. Thankfully, Fantasma was okay. Right, Velveteen Dream is here, making his way down. Mia Yim is going to lose to Charlotte. Days, maybe Finn's attackers are Imperium. Your boy says a failed kidnap. That's what we just saw. That's Wednesday night entertainment. I love nothing more than watching a kidnapping get foiled. Who is the Lucha van? It's a van full of luchas. I'm not sure how else I can word it, to be honest. Days, of anyone from AEW who would Undertaker have the best match against? Someone that can tell a really good story, so Cody or Kenny, I'd imagine. Out of the released talent, who do you see going to AEW? Probably Rusev. Jim Ross said that Rusev would be their priority. So Jim Ross has already come out and said that's the one that they've got their eye on. Hello, Eric Haberman. Shout out to you. Bembo says, apparently Rusev and Heath Slater have retired from wrestling. There's chocolate chips hidden inside cupcakes. Did you see EC3's promo where he talks about WWE making the cuts during a pandemic? And he said he is 1% character is better than MJF. I did not see that, Chris, no. Keith Lee making his way down now. Man, it's going to take forever just to do these entrances on NXT. Right, we've got Kip Sabian still battling away against Dustin Rhodes. We've got 13 minutes left. Then we're going to stick around for 10 minutes. And then we're going to pass over to the Insiders. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles party van. Bask in his glory. Heath Slater can't retire. He's got 7 kids. Do you like Keith Lee? I like Keith Lee. The only problem with Keith Lee is that I think he was red hot around Royal Rumble, like when he went walking down to the ring and you had Brock Lesnar. I think he did great around Survivor Series and he had some real momentum. And it's not quite there right now. It's very easy to get back. So, first time back on live TV for Adam Cole in quite some time. I like those Undisputed Era shirts. Shop the system. Days, imagine if Dustin loses and goes back to WWE. I don't think they're recruiting right now. Why would Cross attack Finn after basically sparking a rivalry with Ciampa? Well, we don't know how long Ciampa's going to be out for, do we? He might have taken Ciampa out of action. Cross might not have done that to start a feud with Ciampa. He might be systematically taking out all of the top talent. So it could be that he's taken out Ciampa, and Ciampa's not going to be around for a little while. And now tonight he's taken out Finn Balor, and maybe next week he takes out someone else, and maybe he's just systematically working his way through, rather than it being a feud between him and Ciampa, which it could be, but it could be that he's taken out different people. We're underway. Keith Lee is feuding with Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, and Velveteen Dream brawling. Bobby Fish on the outside. The ref's surely going to throw it. There we go. Ref says to Bobby Fish, you're out of here. So Bobby Fish is done. Damian Priest. Oh! Has he got a nightstick? Damian Priest just came out of nowhere. Absolutely walloped Keith Lee. Keith Lee goes down, collapses down, and look, now Velveteen Dream is seen. Do you think Rowan could be in the Dark Order? He could join the Dark Order, yes. There's a screen under the ring. Why is there a screen under the ring? Why do they need a TV screen under the ring? Who's under the ring? There can't be anyone under the ring. Why is there a TV screen on under the ring? Perhaps they always have it on under the ring. I don't know. I'm getting a Marty the Phelan vibe. Shout out to you, Lewis E. Allen. Carol Baskin. Maybe Carol Baskin's under the ring. We're still at a commercial break on AEW. This should be the last commercial break. We're going back to the action. We've only got less than 10 minutes to go. Coaster Maniac says, Brody tweeted, who has joined Dark Order? Okay, so clearly they're teasing that someone has joined the Dark Order. Lee says Linda is under the ring. Where is Kyle O'Reilly? I think he's self-isolating. Yeah, John Elite, there was you could see a TV under the ring, and you could see NXT was being shown. I mean, thankfully that whoever's under there was watching NXT. Could you imagine if they was watching AEW? Oh, the drama. Those Undisputed Era shirts are fairly new, says John Elite. They're really nice. I really like them. What is EC3's battle with MJF? I don't know. I feel like MJF may have made a comment about EC3. And now clearly EC3 has said something about MJF in a video. But I don't think there's a long run-in history or anything. Not that I'm aware of. The reason Kyle O'Reilly isn't there is because of health issues he's had in the past. That makes him open to COVID-19. Shout out to you. Days is Mini Court. Mini Court? Linda versus Carol Baskin in a Tiger on a Pole match. Yes. Bucket Vince. Hornswoggle is under the ring. Dustin trying to get the pin on Kip Sabian. Penelope Ford is at ringside. So is Brandy. Brandy keeping a very close eye on this situation. Big strikes by Dustin. Oh, Kip Sabian crashing down on Dustin. Kick out. What happened to Finn Balor? Apparently he got attacked. Apparently there was an incident. We didn't see him. But apparently there was an incident in the locker room and he was removed from the main event. Owen says, I'm under the ring. Whatever happened to the Demon Finn? They need to bring that back. Well, when Finn kind of turned heel, the Demon kind of went away. He just doesn't use it anymore. I feel you'll see it again in the future. Dustin rolled through 1, 2, just a 2. Knee to the face. Discus lariat by Kip. 2. Cody needs his older brother, says ZXK21. Have used over 80% of data this month. Happy birthday, Matt Boy, for the other day. I don't know if it's the lack of crowd or what it is, but this just doesn't feel like it could be Dustin's last match. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel that way. Who do you think WWE would book to win, Fiend or Demon? It depends on the story. I think both could win. I think right now it'd probably be the Fiend. Nice work by Roderick Strong on Velveteen Dream. Carol Baskin is the hacker. Cody should be with his older brother at ringside. Celebrity edits, that's a really good point. I mean, Brandy's out there. If this is going to be the end, then you'd... Yeah, I don't know. You would expect him to be out there, wouldn't you? Duck underneath by Dustin. Clothesline. Down goes Kip Sabian. Dustin goes against the ropes. He's got about 4 minutes. Big chop, big slap. Inverted atomic drop by Dustin. Dustin against the ropes. Bulldog. Down goes Kip Sabian. If you was to book Dustin's last match... Oh, if I was to book Dustin's last match, I'd put him against a big name. I don't mind if he's going to put someone over, to be honest. I don't mind. I mean, look at Kurt Angle putting over King Corbin. They didn't do enough with that. They needed to brag about that. Callan Corner, shout out to you. I thought Dream was meant to face Balor. Yeah, Balor was taken out of the main event. Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis is at ringside now. I didn't see, where did Dexter Lumis appear from? So I think Dexter Lumis is now the new partner of the Dream, is he? Can you do that halfway through a match? Velveteen is trying to get over to him. Dream Valley Driver. Dream Valley Driver for the Velveteen, and he is reaching over to Dexter Lumis. Did this match start? I don't know that you can do this. I mean, I'm not going to tell Dexter Lumis that you can't. Kip Sabian on top of Dustin Rhodes. Ref's allowing it. Why not? Why not? Maybe it didn't start. I don't know. Did it start? Did the match start? Just completely abandoned all rules now, ain't we? It's just like the Wild West. Brandy spearing Penelope. Loomis planting. Adam Cole, Bobby Lashley. It's not Bobby Lashley. Bobby Fish coming down. Velveteen Dream up top. Right, Dustin Rhodes gets the win on Kip Sabian, so Dustin Rhodes isn't retiring. An absolute mess. An absolute mess. That's what I've just seen. That main event of NXT is an absolute mess. God, what an absolute car crash. Well done to Dustin Rhodes. Dexter Lumis out of nowhere. Lumis was Sam Shaw in TNA. I really, really like Dexter Lumis. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's got a great look, great entrance music. I think the way he carries himself. I mean, look, even the way that he's just looking at Velveteen Dream, just he seems to move at a different speed to everyone else. He stands out from everyone else. Just everything he does is different compared to everyone else. Days, who is kidnapping these guys? Liam. I did a video on it. How is Loomis legal? He's not. He's going places. He is. I like him. Dusty's last match was July 22nd. Gold Dust debuted on October 22nd. Maybe that's why Dustin put his career on the line. No, I think he did it for ratings. I think he did it because they needed something to get people to tune into AEW. So I think by him saying, if I lose, I'll retire... you might have seen Gold Dust hanging up his boots tonight. Dustin Rhodes hanging up his boots. So I think that's why they said it. But yeah, he won. So fair play. I don't think he'll say it if he loses against Lance Archer, in all fairness. Adam Rotella out of nowhere, says Dave in real life. Have you even watched a Sam Shaw match, says Greg. Who are you asking, Greg? NXT has been way better than AEW the past 3 weeks. Maybe that's the advantage of live versus taped. There's Kamille last night promo was... I thought I said something else then, Eric. C Wrestling says AEW 6, NXT 8. Get your scores in. We're going to be around for about 9 minutes. 9 minutes we're going to stick around for. AEW 7, NXT 8. NXT 7.5, AEW 6.5. Loomis, thumbs up, says Charles. Ricky says Kip Sabian's missus is the hottest woman I've seen in yonks. NXT 7. Sunny Wolf says AEW 6, NXT 7. AEW 7.5, NXT 7.25. Coaster Maniac says 6 for both. Elias is having a gimmick change. Yeah, I did hear this, actually, that Elias might be having a gimmick change. I'm sort of on board with it. Yeah, I don't mind. Just enough time for Callan Corner. NXT 8. I give AEW 1, says Tony. 7.75 for both, says Sean. AEW 8, NXT 9.5, NXT 7.5, NXT 8, AEW 6, says Jason. NXT 8. I didn't watch AEW, says your boy. I don't watch WWE. I think AEW was a lot better the last couple of weeks, says Generation Y Productions. NXT 10, AEW 4, no contest, says Almighty. Days Tom Phillips said at the end, Adam Cole just pinned the NXT champion, Adam Cole. Okay. I love Dexter Lumis. Yeah, he's very cool. AEW 6, NXT 6.5. Carter, shout out to you. Sonny Wolf, shout out to you. And NXT 6.5, AEW 7.5, says J14. Michael says, AEW was fun. I miss fun NXT. It's way too serious. What if Cody turns dash in again, says ZXK21. Days, can you give me and my hometown of Hammond, Indiana a shout out? Absolutely, shout out to you. NXT 8.5, AEW 8.5, says Desmond. Malik says AEW 6, NXT 7.25. Wow, they're coming in thick and fast now. Thick and fast. Wes says thank you. Shout out to you, Wes. I give NXT a 4 because of Drake's loss, says Brian. Dexter Lumis does what he wants when he wants, says Spark. Aaron says, who do you want to see win the men's and women's Money in the Bank? Well, I would have liked Edge. I think that'd be a nice story. I am someone that likes to invest in the future, but I do feel this is an exception. So if Edge isn't going to be in it, then Aleister Black. I feel like, why not? Now's his time with the briefcase, you know. Lots of people have won their first world championships that way, so yeah, I feel like Aleister Black would be a good shout. In regards to the women, I'm a big Asuka fan, but if not, I don't know, is Ruby in? I don't know if Ruby qualified, I can't remember. So, Ruby. AEW 6.5, says Michael. NXT 7, can't wait for SmackDown, Triple H, and possibly The Fiend. I can see Dexter winning the NXT title, says your boy. Kamille promo was awesome. What do you think about Money in the Bank, says Alex. I think it's great. I think it's exactly the kind of thing they should be doing. I think they're giving us something that they can't normally give us. They can't normally do this match in the headquarters because, of course, how are you going to do that? If you sell tickets to Money in the Bank, then people are going to expect to be able to watch Money in the Bank in the arena. You can't sell tickets to Money in the Bank and then when you get to the Money in the Bank matches go, okay, everyone in the arena, let's watch the screen. Like that's not going to go down very well. So they've got an opportunity to give us something they've not been able to give us before, to give us something they might not be able to give us again. So yeah, I'm kind of down for it. I'm down for seeing it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Wait, is this on BT Sport? Where is NXT? There's still 10 minutes left. They don't do the overrun anymore. Tends to end bang on time now. It's nice, actually, that now it's back to being live. The UK isn't out of sync with the US anymore. That was a right nightmare. Is Money in the Bank going to be theatrical? We don't know. I don't think there needs to be a need for it to be theatrical. I think just let them fight their way up and just capture it on various different cameras. So, I would do it in one take. I would have it as a proper fight, and just, you know, capture, keep changing cameras. I think if it's going to be like an 8 hours multi-take kind of a thing, then I don't know. I think it'd be all right, but I'd rather it was just an all-out war. And it's like, right, quickly, let's go over to, over here. Look, we've got this happening over here. Now we're going to go back over to... And just, keep switching cameras. I think that'd be really cool as they, literally fight their way up. I think that's what people want, isn't it? I think with the crowd and live AEW often beats NXT, but without one, NXT has got the better storylines and character builds. Days, would you like to see Triple H involved in Money in the Bank and win? Would I like to see Triple H win Money in the Bank? No. I don't mind him getting involved, but I don't want to see him win it. I think that there's other people that deserve it instead. Rusty says, "See, I do whatever I please." Shout out to you, Rusty. You didn't have to do that again, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. Rusty says, "See, I do what I please, whenever I please." Literally, there's no telling Rusty what he can do. I think everyone in the community knows that now, Rusty. No one tells Rusty what to do. Days, could you see the hacker exposing Bray? Don't know. I mean, he hinted at it in that video, didn't he? He said through force or through fear, and he showed Sheamus and he showed the Fiend. So there could be something there to expose it. It could all be that it was all just smoke and mirrors and tricks and everything. But I don't know. I don't want to see that, to be honest. I don't want to see the mystique of the Funhouse just ripped away just to put over a hacker storyline, So I hope not, is my answer. But it was teased through force, through fear. Coaster Maniacs says, donate. No, Coaster Maniacs. Shout out to you. But no. Shout out to you. We need to get ready to pass over to the Insiders. We need to pass over to the Insiders Wrestling Podcast in a second. So get your final thoughts through. I got info that Money in the Bank was filmed last week. I heard that, Brian. Yes, I heard that. It would be ideal for Triple H to be one of the last two and to put his opponent over by giving up the win, says Michael. That's interesting. Shout out to you, John. Coaster Maniacs, Rusty Shackelford, thank you very much for the support. Really appreciate it. Days, we never found out who Linux is. That's a good point. We didn't, did we? Days, how's the cheese business? It's very successful. Thank you. It's going very, very well. I had to redraw a logo. I have to redraw a logo for an art assignment. What should I redraw? A logo? You have to redraw... Well, redraw... I can't think of a wrestling logo. I'm trying to think of a wrestling logo. Quickly! Guys, 3 minutes until the Insiders are starting. Can you think of a wrestling logo for Sonny Wolf to redraw? What wrestling logo? Let's make it wrestling. I'm thinking Warrior. But Warriors was great. Warrior doesn't need a new logo. His face paint motif was brilliant. What wrestling logo? Trying to think who's got logos. I'm having a look at the figures now. DX wasn't it just like the big X with like degeneration written across it? I can just see that on a t-shirt over there. Get your thoughts in. What wrestling logo? Razor Ramon. Yeah, that was the razor, wasn't it? It was a razor, and it said, didn't it say Razor Ramon on the razor? Like a Razor Ramon one would be good. Dolph Ziggler, Alexa Bliss, the Firefly Funhouse. That's a pretty good logo, though, isn't it? I suppose you could redesign Firefly Funhouse. Coaster Maniacs, yeah, don't forget Coaster Maniacs is going to be tipping 200 icebergs over himself. Icebergs, ice cubes, same difference. Same difference. Goldberg's tattoo. Goldberg's tattoo, says Jerry Smith. Thunder Rosa's logo, that could be interesting. Days, something like the Hacker exposing Braun, putting the sheep mask and considering Bray joining again. Yeah. Did you hear Mark Henry thinks CM Punk is the Hacker? No, I have now. Thanks, Alex. Firefly Funhouse is a good one. I'll do that and some others. Yeah, Sonny Wolf, send them over to the Insiders so the Insiders can show them on a future episode. Do you think if COVID-19 continues, WWE may cancel tapings? I don't think so. It looks like, fingers crossed, we're going through the peak now. So I'm kind of hopeful that, you fast forward a month or so, then we'll be through it. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't want to think about it continuing. To be honest, I speak for everyone when I say I just hope it all ends soon. So, right, I'm going to go. The Insiders Wrestling Podcast. If you go to YouTube, type in Insiders Wrestling Podcast, search for that, you'll see that there's, I believe, an interview with Gary Cassidy, I think it is, that's starting up right now. So if you jump over there, then our community will be jumping over there right now. Thank you for watching. Wednesday nights are tricky, what with trying to watch 2 shows, but we got through. Obviously, tomorrow we're doing ECW. Nearly said EC3. One Night Stand. That's a whole different video. ECW One Night Stand from 2006. We're going to do a watch-along, and that is a great show. It's got a lot of WWE stars on it, including that main event between Rob Van Dam and John Cena. Big main event. And if you've never seen it, it is a real treat, that main event. So we're actually going to rewatch that tomorrow. And then, of course, on Friday, we got SmackDown, where, Triple H and feel like Summit's going to happen. I know seems like a lot of you in the chat are hoping that it's going to be The Fiend. Could be. Could be something to do with Money in the Bank. Or it could just be a 25-year celebration. We're going to have to wait and see. But make sure that you go over to the Insiders Wrestling Podcast. Jump over there. That's where everyone's going to be right now. So thanks a lot for watching. And hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.